What's going on, everybody? Welcome inside Center Ice Arena here in the beautiful Traverse City, Michigan for the 2023 Prospect Tournament presented to you by Bally Sports. I'm Daniella Bruce alongside Red Wings radio play-by-play announcer Ken Cal, and joining us this afternoon is Columbus Blue Jackets broadcaster Dylan Tyrer. Dylan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We're excited to hear all about the Blue Jackets. And I got to ask you, do you really enjoy being in Traverse City? Because we always love coming up here. So
oh my
I
God.
know your thoughts.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. First of all, thanks for letting me do the broadcast with you guys. I'm excited to call it with you. But I love Traverse City. I was up here last year, and this is my second year in Traverse City. It's a hidden gem, right? It's beautiful. I'm also a big golfer. There's lots of great golf up here, but you're by the water, you're by good golf courses, and hockey's back, so it doesn't get much better than that, right?
It's very exciting. We're excited to have you here. And Ken, it's your first game of the Prospect Tournament. Welcome. Welcome back.
Well, thank you, Daniella. And Dylan, I just want you to give me some golf tips. You know, I know you played at Arcadia Bluff, and my game needs a little help, so I'm going to ask you for some tips later on.
Yeah, we can chat. We can do some short game practice during the intermissions, all right?
There you go.
He can give us a golf tip every period. We can try to go through that. Okay, that's awesome. Let's take a look at the Red Wings lineups for today, Ken. It was very exciting. The Red Wings did end up dropping the game 4-2 against Dallas, but we saw some really good things. We saw some things that they need to work on as well. But Ken, you see Marco Kasper centering that top line, Nate Danielson, the Red Wings' first-round draft pick this year, centering the second line, and obviously Elmer Soderblom. He's a veteran to this tournament. But who are you most excited to watch here this afternoon?
Well, just looking at the board right here, it looks like the Red Wings are pretty deep down the middle with those youngsters, Kasper, Danielson, and Lombardi. And I really like Nate Danielson, and he had 2 assists in the first game against the Dallas Stars, as you were aware of, Daniella. But what I like about him, we saw it at the development camp, is whenever he loses the puck, he always goes hard after it and gets it again, it seems. And he always comes away with a puck. But he was a good setup man the first game. I really like him in that center ice position. I'm going to keep my eye on him today.
And we know Nate Danielson really takes pride in his defensive game, so that's something you should be looking for. He's not the flashiest on offense, but you'll see that he's got a very mature game for his young age. Now, Ken, looking at the defensemen, I loved watching Will Wallander yesterday. That was the first time I was able to see him in person. Who are you looking at the Red Wings deep pairings?
Well, I'm going to give you a name that maybe most fans aren't aware of, but he's a youngster by the name of Andrew Gibson. He's there on the second pairing as you see him teamed up with Mathurin. But what I liked about him is I liked him in the development camp, and it seemed like he's a pretty smart, heads-up kind of guy. He's no stranger to the penalty box either. He can rough it up with you too. So I'm going to keep an eye on him tonight or this afternoon, and I think he's got a bright future with the Red Wings. It's going to take some time to develop, but I like him a lot.
And Dylan, much like the Red Wings, Columbus has some young talent in their system right now, and we're going to see that on display here this afternoon. Let's look at the forward core. We all are excited about Adam Fantilli, and you can talk about him in just a minute. But give us some other names in that forward group that we should be looking out for.
Well, I was talking to you guys before we hopped on the air here, and there are a lot of different names up and down this forward group that are exciting for Blue Jackets fans. You look at the first line, Jordan Dumais is going to slot in alongside Adam Fantilli and Dmitry Voronkov. That's a change from the game that we saw yesterday. Mikhail Putier, who's not playing in this one for the Blue Jackets, was playing the wing on that first line where Jordan Dumais is. But Dumais was the MVP of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League last season, a guy that puts up points like crazy. He was the highest scorer in Canadian junior hockey last year alongside Connor Bedard. It was both those two guys. And opposite him, Dmitry Voronkov on the other wing. He's fresh over from the KHL. He's a 4th-round draft pick by the Blue Jackets a few years back. Let me tell you what, both of you are going to notice him on the ice. He is a massive man, 6'4". They've got him listed at about 190 pounds, but no way he's 190 pounds, and he's not afraid to use that size. He's a guy that doesn't speak a whole lot of English, so it's kind of been an interesting transition for him here in Traverse City, meeting all these players for the first time, but looking for him to settle in a little bit more. But a couple of other names, James Malatesta, he was the MVP of the Memorial Cup, had a big game against the Maple Leafs on Thursday. The Blue Jackets won 7-3. Luca Del Bel Blues, a former teammate of Adam Fantilli with the Toronto Red Wings when they were junior players at about 15, 16 years old. He's a 2nd-round draft pick by the Blue Jackets in 2021, so there are a lot of players to be excited about. Those are just a few of them.
All right, well, let's look at the deep pairings as well. And David Jiricek is obviously a name that stands out. He was the 2022 6th overall pick in the draft, so he definitely stands out to us. Who else should we be watching on the blue line?
Well, he's paired up with his countryman in Stanislav Svozil. Svozil was a 3rd-round draft pick by the Blue Jackets a few years back. In hindsight, people maybe think he should have been a first-rounder. I mentioned Connor Bedard's name earlier. Stanislav Svozil was a teammate of his with the Regina Pats in the Western Hockey League last season. Svozil put up huge numbers, actually made his NHL debut and his AHL debut at the end of last season, straight out of junior. And he was a difference maker for the Blue Jackets in the NHL as a young guy. So I'm really excited to see him paired up with David Jiricek. They weren't paired together in the first game, but there are 3 first-round picks in this D-core. David Jiricek, who we, of course, talked about, big right-shot defenseman. He can do a whole lot. Corson Kuhlmans is another guy whose development is really intriguing for the Blue Jackets. Played the last 2 years at the University of Wisconsin. Became a pro in the American Hockey League at the end of last year. He was a first-round draft pick by the Blue Jackets, 25th overall in 2021, the year that they had 3 firsts, Kent Johnson, Cole Sillinger, and Corson Kuhlmans. And Kuhlmans is paired up with the team captain for the Blue Jackets here in Traverse City, Denton Matejchuk. After that first game against the Leafs, Blue Jackets head coach Trent Vogelhuber said Matejchuk was maybe the best player on the ice, so really excited to watch him again. He's a crafty little player. You guys are going to like him, I think.
Daniella, you heard our picks, but who are you looking forward to watching here this afternoon?
Well, I can tell you in Game 1 against Dallas, Elmer Soderblom really stood out, as he should. I talked about this with you guys before we got on here today, that this is his 3rd prospect tournament. So he's sort of a veteran to the prospect tournament, if that makes sense. But he's coming off an injury, and this is the first game action that he's seen in a while. But he looked really good. His hands looked good. He was making plays in front of the net. He probably should have buried more than the 1 goal that he had. And Cross Hannes is the other one that I'm very intrigued to see. He was really impressive in Grand Rapids before he got hurt, and he was actually just cleared to play last week. So this is his first game action in a while, too. And I thought he looked really good out there.
It's unfortunate that Carter Mazur was injured and did not play after the first period in that last game against the Dallas Stars. And he was a player that I liked in the development camp. He says, I got to get a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, but he will not see action in today's game.
What did he say, Ken? His first job is hockey. His second job is eating. So he needs to put on a little weight. We know that. But if we do get an update between now and tomorrow's game, we will let you know. But right now the update is that it's a lower body injury and he's getting looked at by some doctors. So hopefully all positive for Carter.
Didn't he say he likes to
piss people off?
Piss people off, yeah. Okay, I just did. Right?
It's a quote. It's a quote, right, Ken?
But, that was his, his thing that he said. He said, I just want to irritate people. And, unfortunately, I wanted to see him play today, but as Red Wing fans, we're not going to see him tonight.
And Sebastian Cossa looks like he's going to get the start in net again for the Red Wings. And the way the Red Wings do this, they usually give half the game to one goaltender and then half the game to the other. So Sebastian Cossa will get the first half. What about your goaltenders?
Yeah, it's going to be Nolan Lalonde in this one, I assume, for the Blue Jackets, barring any changes going into this game. Lalonde plays for Erie of the OHL. He was signed by the Blue Jackets last year after a really impressive training camp. He got into a couple of NHL preseason games and opened some eyes, frankly, in Columbus. So he's going to get the start here today. Pavel Chayan was the goaltender in the first game. I thought he looked really good. He kind of made a name for himself in this tournament last year, and he played in the minor leagues between the ECHL and the American Hockey League last year and looked good in doing so. And we're going to have our team reporter, Jeff Svoboda, on during the intermission. I know he's really high on Pavel Chayan. Don't expect to see him today. Think it's going to be just Lalonde, but we'll see if the Blue Jackets employ the same strategy as the Red Wings and potentially switch goalies.
Okay, I mentioned that I would let you talk about Adam Fantilli a little bit, but Red Wings fans love him as well because obviously he donned that blue and maize and blue, however you want to say it, for the Michigan Wolverines for a few years there. And very exciting young prospect, taken 3rd overall, and you said you really like that he fell to number 3 for your Columbus Blue Jackets, right?
It didn't look like the Blue Jackets were going to end up getting Adam Fantilli at 3 overall, but the Anaheim Ducks ended up taking Leo Carlsson, who, by the way, I think is going to be a great player in the NHL. I'm a huge fan of Leo Carlsson. He's a great kid as well. But Adam Fantilli is special on the ice. He's special off the ice. Fans watching this game are going to be really, really impressed by what he does. Watching him in person, I think, is a little bit different than hearing the stories about him or watching him on TV. He just does so many small things well. You're going to notice him on the back check. You're going to notice little passes that he makes. You're going to notice his speed. I will say he was a little bit frustrated, I think, at the end of the game against the Leafs. He had 2 assists, so he had a 2-point day, but he didn't score. He wrung a couple shots off the post. He was hammering the puck off the boards. I think he's going to score in this game today. That's my prediction. I think Adam Fantilli is going to score at least one, probably multiple goals in this game because he didn't score in the opener.
Well, think about Fantilli, too. He's over a point-per-game player at the University of Michigan last year, 65 points. He had 30 goals, 35 assists. And just talking with some of the coaches with Michigan last year, he was just phenomenal. And, he's no stranger to the penalty box, too. He can rough it up a little bit. He had 65 penalty minutes in those games with Michigan last year.
Yeah, we saw in the first game he got a little bit chippy. That's a big part of his game is he's not afraid to mix it up. You mentioned all the numbers and everything. He's just the third freshman to ever win the Hobie Baker, so he's a complete player. If he were a baseball player, they'd say he's a 5-tool player.
Yeah, very excited to see him here this afternoon. A lot of exciting talent. Let's go down to the ice for our national anthem.
Against your Detroit Red Wings. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that if you're able to, please rise and remove your hats. All veterans, active duty personnel, and first responders, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute as we honor America with the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Everybody, here we go. And just for your information, we have two announcers up here today, so they're going to split some play-by-play duties, but Ken Cal is going to kick it off this afternoon.
Well, we got the top lines going against each other right off the get-go here, and it's going to be interesting to see how they match up both against each other at the start of this hockey game and throughout the course of the game as well.
Yeah, you've got two big-time centermen, and Marco Kasper going for the Red Wings and Adam Fantilli. It's something that we've seen throughout this series, best on best, right, throughout this tournament. A lot of first-round picks. I think there are 7 first-round picks combined between the teams in this game, and going to get a little show early here.
Daniella, what were your thoughts about Sebastian Cossa? I didn't see that first game against the Dallas Stars.
I think Sebastian Cossa did okay. If you asked him, he probably would want a couple of shots back, but the Red Wings gave up a lot of odd man rushes in that first game against Dallas. Sebastian Cossa got scored on in a 3-on-0 situation, so it's very hard to defend that as a goaltender. You can't fault him for that. So hopefully he gets a little bit of better play in front of him in this game, but I thought he made some really sharp saves because Dallas created some great opportunities.
All right, the Red Wings lost 4-2 to the Dallas Stars on Thursday, even though they outshot the Stars 34-27. We're underway. Glad you're in tune as Sawchuk brings it out to center for Detroit. Carries in over the line, checked by Dumais. Soderblom dropped it blindly to the blue line. Now the Blue Jackets come back 1-on-2. Up over the line, Fantilli makes his way in, and he was taken off the puck by Wallander as he eyes him up as that puck slides right to the goaltender, Sebastian Cossa.
Well, you guys can see early there the speed in the hands of Adam Fantilli. He scored a very special goal for Team Canada at the World Championships against men in kind of a similar situation that we saw right there where he was able to put the puck between the guys' triangle and get to the net, but good defense right there by the Red Wings taking the puck off of his stick.
Face-off coming up circled to the left of the Red Wing goaltender, and now Kasper is escorted out of the circle, and we'll have another face-off. Fantilli digging in against Sawchuk. Again, Fantilli is looking at the linesman right now and pleading his case. And looks like we've got a penalty call coming up right here. Fantilli, it looks like he's the guilty party. He's shaking his head as he makes his way over to the penalty box.
That was an interesting play. I don't know exactly.
Now he's not going to the box. What's going on here?
Oh, was it against the Reds?
Yeah, I think the Red Wings are going to the box here. Sawchuk in the box.
Yeah, Sawchuk in the box.
They call that a face-off violation?
We'll assume so.
All right,
I would
well,
imagine.
It's a power play right off the get-go here as Sawchuk's in the penalty box, so the Red Wing penalty killers have to do the job. Blue Jackets have it at the blue line. Great opportunity for them. Dumais drops it back. Here is Matejchuk moving it to the right circle. Off of Dumais, goes after it in the right corner, swings that puck around the boards and behind the goal. Bounces out to the center circle and now lifting it all the way down the ice. Red Wings doing a good job there. And the Blue Jackets have to go 200 feet the other way.
This is a Blue Jackets power play that scored 3 goals in their opener against Toronto. A lot of skill on the ice for the CBJ.
Here's Fantilli up across the line, moves it over to the right side of Dumais. Keep an eye on him. He's been a good point scorer in his career. Matejchuk blindly played it. Now here's a break for Cross Hannes. He's breaking in, and Fantilli coming back with a good play to tie him up. And Hannes got the shot away, and the save was made by Nolan Lalonde.
Well, there you see Adam Fantilli on the back check. He's just so competitive. He doesn't want to lose ever.
2 good plays right there. Hannes actually did get the shot away, short-handed, but that two-way play of Fantilli, something else.
Yeah, Fantilli makes all those small plays. And looks like the Blue Jackets are going to go with their second unit here. And still more skill on this second unit for the Blue Jackets as Luca Del Bel-Belluz has the puck.
Del Bel-Belluz twisting and turning over to the right side of the ice. Drops it into the high slot. Quick feed over, left side. Jiricek with a feed off the stick of Del Bel-Belluz, who picks it up in the corner. Now it's shoveled back towards the blue line. To the left circle a one-time drive. Kosa made the save as Jiricek tried to score from the left circle.
Well, that's a big part of David Jiricek's game. Daniella talked about Jiricek off the top of the broadcast. The 6th overall draft pick by the Blue Jackets in 2022 is... We're going to get a look here at the back check by Adam Fantilli earlier. That's just a terrific play to tie up the stick. But Jiricek's slap shot was maybe the best in the 2022 draft, and he showcased it as a young player, a teenage defenseman in the American Hockey League last year.
Dylan, Daniella, you know what I like about that play by Fantilli is that he didn't take a penalty.
Right.
You know, he tied him up
Smart.
and did the right thing.
Very smart.
You see that happen so many times, too. Guys like that have to make desperate plays and end up in the box.
Power play for 22 seconds. That's the time remaining. That's such a penalty. Here's a shot right side, redirected in front of Kosa, wide of the goal. Svozil holds it in, pass right circle, quick one-time drive right there, and it was knocked away. Into the corner, Svozil after it. Now it comes back out to center and scooping it up in his own zone. Del Bel-Belluz ahead to center ice. Jiricek in over the line, dodges a check. Now the Red Wings are at full strength. It comes back to the line. Svozil holds it in for Columbus. Pass in front, a quick one-time shot right there by Del Bel-Belluz, and that's knocked away by Kosa. Now the Wings come back over the line, left side with a power move right out in front, a centering attempt, and that one ends up on the stick of a Blue Jacket player, comes out to center ice, and Kulemans to dump it down into the corner in the Detroit end.
Well, this game's really opened up, hasn't it, Ken? It feels like these teams are just going back and forth right now. Probably the best scoring chance of the game for the Wings just a moment ago. Nolan Lalonde really tested for the first time.
Matthias Miloski there making the play for the Red Wings, getting to the net. You see him kind of rush right in and also make that centering attempt at the back end of that after not finishing. But he's a Czech player, free agent invitee that played in the Q last year. So it's always big for the free agents that get brought into these tournaments because they're there trying to make an impression on the organizations, not only the Red Wings, but there's a lot of scouts here, as we know.
Yeah, you're right about that. Talk about making an impression. I thought that PK for the Red Wings was very, very impressive. Guys putting their body on the line. There was one good look there on the power play for the Blue Jackets, that Jiricek shot, but not much outside of that.
Good power move, too, by Milovsky as he tried to bust in from the left side. Well, Kosa's made some big saves early in this hockey game. No score, big hit in the corner. Again, Blue Jackets control down low. It's Kulemans sliding it off to the side of the Detroit net, and in a kneeling position in the goal crease, Sebastian Kosa will hang on.
Kosa seems to be tracking pretty well here early on. He hasn't been majorly tested, but he seems to be getting from side to side pretty well. He had a really good poke check during that penalty kill to get the puck out and ultimately clear it down the ice. So hopefully a sharp game for him. I know he's a key part of the Red Wings' future, so we like to see him playing well.
The size is very apparent for him as well. 6'6". He takes up a ton of that net.
Doesn't allow those shooters much to shoot at, I guess, when you're 6'6" like that. He had a really good year late in the year with the Toledo Walleye, who made a run in the playoffs. Started for the Edmonton Oil Kings in his junior days. Puck is back into the Columbus zone. Doucette to Gibson. He's the guy we were talking about. He slapped it towards the front of the goal, right point. And Lalonde comes up with the save. Look along the boards, out to center. Amadeus Lombardi, pretty creative forward. Finds an opening, moves left circle, gets away from a check. Down low into the corner, making a play. Checked in along the boards. Throwing his weight around right there. Ben Roger of Columbus. The Blue Jackets sweep it ahead. Rice Savvy checked at the Detroit blue line, works his man over Gibson. Now it comes to the point. Petal with a shot. That's off the stick of Kosa. Up into the air it goes, now into the corner. And the Wings will pick it up there and head out.
Top line for the Blue Jackets is coming back out here, so we get another look at Adam Fantilli after that grind line was out there for the CDJ.
Ooh, Gibson goes down and took Voronkov down with him. Blue Jackets Dumais with a feed in front. Here's a tip right out in front of the goal. Voronkov trying to score, and a heads-up play by Kosa to knock it away with a big paddle. Fantilli picking it up now, winding up. Checked along the boards, gets it to the line of Juracek. Over to the right side. Shot taken there by Voronkov. Stick to side right out in front of the Detroit net. 15:09 to play, first period. No score in the game. Cross Hannes. Injury played last season, couldn't get it out. Fantilli with a shot, and then going down on one knee to block it is Elmer Soderblom.
Elmer Soderblom showing some of his defensive skills so far throughout this tournament. He even got some time on the penalty kill against Dallas on Thursday, which we haven't seen much of, but Dan Watson talked about it. Just why not give him that opportunity? It seems like a natural fit when you're that big and your reach is that long. So give him a little time and see how he defends too.
Man, between Kosa and Soderblom, it looks like we're watching a Pistons game out there. 6'8" and 6'6".
They've got some tall players. Wallander, I think, is 6'4", 6'5" as well.
Yeah. 6'4", 190. Tanias Mathurin, 6'3" as well. Great size in the decor.
There's Matejchuk, get it to the right circle. A shot blocked by Malatesta. The Red Wings sweep it out to center ice.
That size on the blue line seems to be a common theme for Steve Yzerman and his draftees.
Well, I think we see that in the NHL nowadays,
Yeah.
right? To make a deep playoff run, so many of these teams have just big decors.
If you're a small defenseman, you really have to be a playmaker kind of player. As like you said, most of the size right now are big in the National Hockey League. Del Bel Blues bounced it out into the high slot. Hannes will scoop it up for Detroit. Tried to thread it out to center ice, broken up. And now Pinelli with a chop at the puck. It bounces out to the center ice circle, and now scooping it up and lifting it down into the Detroit zone. The Blue Jackets, Malatesta squeezed off the puck, comes out to center ice. Here's Sawchuk breaking away, making his way in on goal. He shoots, he scores! Under the crossbar, beating Lalonde on the semi breakaway, and it's 1-0 Detroit.
Great shot. He picked the corner. Not much you can do as a goaltender there. Just a quick release and went top shelf with it. Riley Sawchuk also did confirm that he is a distant relative of Terry Sawchuk.
Okay.
Very distant, very distant. He actually hadn't heard of it when he was asked. He had or heard of him. He had to kind of do some research to figure it out. But distant cousin.
Well, he had a face-off violation penalty early in the hockey game in the first couple seconds, and then he gets the partial breakaway goal. Nice shot under the crossbar, and it's 1-0 Detroit.
Well, that was just a great effort play by Sawchuk, too. It looked like he was able to steal it away from Luca Pinelli, and we've seen that a couple of times here, that Detroit's had some good looks at Nolan Lalonde, and obviously Sawchuk making good right there.
Well, the Wings, Daniella had a 1-0 lead against the Dallas Stars. Couldn't hold it, but let's see if they could do it against the Blue Jackets right here.
The Red Wings are coming out a lot faster, a lot more competitive than they did in their first game. Dylan, not sure how the Blue Jackets looked coming out of the gate in their first game, but the Red Wings look a lot better here this afternoon.
Yeah, that definitely looks different for the Blue Jackets, I'll say that. They had a lot of fire, a lot of push early in that game against the Maple Leafs, and on their heels a little bit in this one. They've had some chances, but got to limit those odd man rushes that we've seen a couple of times.
Columbus out shooting the Red Wings 5-3 at this point of the hockey game. Sawchuk with the goal, 1-0 Detroit. Here's Marco Kasper speeding out to center along the left wing. Butler in pursuit, drops it back. Sema checked along the board, got it deep into the Columbus zone. A centering attempt, and Lalonde, the goaltender, just freezing it in the goal crease. And we've got 12:56 to play here in the first period. Red Wings looking for their first win in the Prospects tournament. And they lead 1-0 on the Sawchuk goal.
Red Wings fans, I can guarantee that you're going to want to be at Little Caesars Arena sometime this season. Be a part of all the action for 2023 and 2024. And join Wingwheel Nation. You can get a limited number of full and half season memberships that are still available, so don't miss out. Visit DetroitRedWings.com/Wingwheel Nation and join before it's too late. It's going to be a fun year down in Detroit at Little Caesars Arena this year, Ken.
Yep, here's the man who scored. Sawchuk right up across the line. Centering attempt. Petal intercepted it. Worked it to the line. Tuomisto holds it in. And Tuomisto, Daniella, had a goal in that lost to the Dallas Stars. Here's a quick shot from the right side, taken by Sawchuk again, and Lalonde the save.
Tuomisto, very interesting year for him. He was a part of that national championship University of Denver team a couple of years ago, but decided to go back to Finland and play the season there last year. And he says he thinks it really helped his game. He was able to play against guys a little bigger than him, a little stronger than him in the men's league over there, and improve his game. And you can see it. His game has definitely improved since the last time we were able to watch him play. So hopefully his next steps are playing in Grand Rapids and hopefully getting to the Red Wings one day.
How is he finding guys bigger than him? 6'5", 205. You find guys bigger than that over in Finland?
Maybe bigger's the wrong word. Maybe a little stronger, more filled out.
Gibson with a shot as he tried to score from in close, and Lalonde comes up with the save. 12:16 to go, opening period, 1-0 lead. Sawchuk the goal scorer for Detroit. Both teams now at 5 shots on goal.
Finding somebody bigger than any of the Red Wings
Yeah,
defensemen.
the decor is, you look up and down this roster here, it's pretty ridiculous. That decor is, it's formidable.
If you look at the big club, and you got Mo Sider, who's a big, tall defenseman as well.
It's Simon Edvinsson, too.
Pass over on the right side, unable to control that puck was Oasis Weisblatt. I like that name. As the puck comes over on the near side.
Yeah, the Weisblatt family has a lot of unique names for their kids. I believe one of them's Ocean. They've got Ozzy, so that O theme.
Oasis is spelled O-A-S-I-Z, but pronounced Oasis. 1-0 Detroit. Blue Jackets bring it ahead. Fantilli. Stick handles, takes a look up, over to his right, swings it down into the corner. Columbus making a change on the go, and Gibson will pick it up behind the Red Wing goal. Good crowd on hand here on this Saturday afternoon in Traverse City, the cherry capital of the world. 1-0 Detroit. Cross Hannes. Through traffic to Lombardi. Pitched it out to center ice. And now striding over the line is Roger into the corner on Gibson. They check each other and along the boards. Pinelli after the puck comes up the right side, out to center ice. Lombardi picks it up, moves away from Malatesta, in over the blue line. Del Bell Blues check them in along the boards in the corner. It sweeps free and along the right side to D'Souza, holds it in at the line, slides it over on the right side for Panay, who fires the puck, and that one stopped by Lalonde. The Red Wings trying to make something happen in that Columbus zone from the outside.
I mentioned that you could be a part of Wing Wheel Nation and get a season ticket membership, but you can also buy your Detroit Red Wings single tickets right now as well. So many great matchups and big games coming up at Little Caesars Arena. For more information, visit DetroitRedWings.com/tickets. Opening night, less than a month away.
Red Wings' third game of the year will be against the same Columbus Blue Jackets in Columbus.
Yeah, we're excited for that one. It's always fun when the Red Wings come to town. You know, old rivalries renewed and things like that. I know it's kind of died down a little bit over the course of the last few years, but still a lot of fun and a lot of red in Nationwide Arena.
Well, the Blue Jackets over the last several years have had the Red Wings number there at Nationwide Arena. D'Souza in deep, scores! Oh, from the right side goal line. That one deflected right out in front. We'll have to take a look at the replay, but it's 2-0 Detroit. 10:25 to go in the first.
Yeah, not sure how that one snuck through, but you know what they say, puck's on net, right? Throw it in front of the net, you're not sure what's going to happen, but I think it was deflected.
I think it went in off a Columbus player.
Gone in off a Blue Jackets defenseman there, because you're not going to see many goals scored from that angle right there, going kind of top shelf like that happen.
Here's a look at it. Here comes the shot.
Lombardi came in.
Yeah,
maybe he got a stick on
clear. We'll have to see who they credit that goal with. If it hit Lombardi, maybe.
Well, Daniella, you're right. That's classic pucks on net right there.
Exactly.
Put it into traffic and see what happens. And credit the Red Wings. I think they've done a great job of that throughout this game. It's not necessarily pretty, but it's greasy. It's hard work, and like you talked about earlier, trying to make an impression.
If that is Lombardi's goal, that's kind of his bread and butter. He is dangerous out in front of the opposition's net. He put up some big numbers for Flint. Well, 2-0 Detroit. We'll wait for the official call on the goal as the puck is swept up the right side and out to the Detroit blue line. Columbus, Dylan, as you mentioned, they took a 5-0 lead in their game against Toronto.
Yeah, they looked really, really strong early in that one. Not quite the same here. It feels like the ice is tilted a little bit in the Red Wings' favor, where it's been a while since the Blue Jackets have had any sustained offensive zone time. See if they can change that.
Well, here's a good try right there out in front, moving in from the corner. was McGurn and tried to squeeze it underneath Sebastian Kosa.
Yeah, I want to see what the Blue Jackets do line-wise here. It looks like maybe they've shuffled things up a little bit. Coach Adelic was just out there, and Dmitry Voronkov on the ice as well. So we'll see if they have made a change with some of the lines.
So it seems like they did officially credit that goal to D'Souza. Must have hit off somebody in front of the net, a Columbus Blue Jacket. But Amadeus was in good position, even though he doesn't get credit for the goal. That is a great play to be rushing the net like that. Good centering attempt. And it ends up in the back of the net, no matter who it went off of.
Well, D'Souza was from Erie, Colorado. That's where he's born. Played for Kelowna in the Western Hockey League. 74 penalty minutes, but he had 20 points in 66 games played for Kelowna. And like you guys said, you throw it in front of the net, anything can happen. It's a low percentage play from the right side goal line, but again, you never know.
Yeah, and you know, the Blue Jackets D-corps is probably going to be a little bit frustrated with that goal, letting him get to the middle of the ice like that and create that traffic right in front of the goaltender. But again, you look at some of the size of these defensemen, and you know, 6'4", 187 pounds. No matter who's coming down there, it's causing issues. There's a lot of size in this Red Wings lineup, and the Blue Jackets are trying to match it.
Marco Kasper out there takes his position for Detroit on the inside rim of that circle in front of Sebastian Kosa. 2-0 lead for Detroit. Voronkov will sweep that puck around the boards. He tried to get it to the point, but that one ends up in the protective netting in the corner. Columbus 1-0 on the season here in the Prospects Tournament. 3 teams have 1 win. Columbus, Dallas, and Toronto. Detroit 0-1. This is their second game, as they are trying to pick up their first victory of the tournament.
Like I said, a much sharper first period so far for the Red Wings than what we saw against Dallas.
They look a lot faster to you, Daniella?
Quicker, much quicker. Their decisions are better.
There's Fantilli with a backhand. Got it away, and Kosa just snares that puck with a glove hand, swept it into the corner for Soderblom. Soderblom was clipped with a high stick in that first game against the Dallas Stars.
His lip is okay, though. I did ask him post-game. A little cut up, but he's all right.
Here's the big fella skating in over the Columbus line. Tried to work it back towards the blue line. Popped out to center. Fantilli back the other way. Tipped it off the stick of Gibson. That one ends up in the players' bench.
Well, you mentioned the better start for the Red Wings, and I think that kind of comes with the territory in a tournament like this, right? Guys haven't played together. There are returners for each team. But these players haven't had the opportunity to practice together a whole lot, play together a whole lot. They're learning new systems. And beyond all that, they haven't played a hockey game in a long time.
It's been a while.
The first games are always a little bit choppy. So it's interesting to see the way that each team has come back here after that first game. I'm sure the Blue Jackets would like a little bit more here in this first period, but I really like what the Red Wings have been able to do.
Yeah, they're also getting familiar with the coaching staff. Dan Watson, this is his first year as the head coach of the Prospect Tournament team, as he's going to be the head coach of the Griffins this year after coaching Toledo in the ECHL last year. So very excited for him, but like you said, it's all new. Everything's a little new, and you're trying to get used to each other and learn a bunch of new things in a very short period of time.
Dan Scum out at center ice. He's out there with Danielson. And Cross Hannes, 2-0 lead for Detroit. Pinelli knocked it out of midair at center ice. It was batted down the high stick, says the referee. And the end to our left, that's in the Detroit zone. So a whistle and the face-off coming up at center ice. 8.5 to go first period. Glad you're in tune here from Traverse City. Red Wings have a 2-0 lead over the Blue Jackets on goals by Sawchuk and D'Souza.
This live stream and every stream this weekend is brought to you by Bally Sports. You can stream your Red Wings this season on the Bally Sports app as well. Big shout out to them for helping us out this weekend and presenting our Prospect Tournament streams.
Del Bell Blues to take the face-off. He's a native of Woodbridge, Ontario, 20 years old. What's the status on him?
Well, he's an interesting prospect for the Blue Jackets, a guy that started off in Mississauga last year, was traded to Sarnia at the OHL trade deadline. Former second-round draft pick by the Blue Jackets in 2021, and a player they think has a bright future as a two-way centerman. And he has some ties to other players on this team. Actually grew up playing with Adam Fantilli, and actually the brother of Luca Pinelli. Luca Pinelli's brother drafted by the LA Kings a couple of years ago, and now Luca Del Bell Blues is playing alongside Luca Pinelli in this game with Adam Fantilli centering that first line as well. So hockey's always a small world. You know how small of a world it is, and all these guys ended up back together again.
Doucette, Lombardi, and out there for Detroit right now, and Doucette put up some big numbers last year in the Quebec League. Lombardi circles the net, moves it ahead. Here's a shot by Doucette. He scores! The man we were just talking about. He turned and fired from the left circle, beating Lalonde, and it's 3-0 Detroit.
Just a lot of chaos in the Blue Jackets end right there, and that's a common theme in all of these goals. Obviously, the Sawchuk goal early was more of a clean snipe, but there's lots of traffic in front of the goaltender here where the Red Wings are making things really, really difficult on the Blue Jackets. Seeing all this replay, just look at all the red in there with just two Blue Jackets defenders. Martin Rysabby was right in there alongside Denton Matejchuk, but a lot of confusion in the Blue Jackets end, it looked like.
Alexander Doucette signed his contract back in March 1st with the Griffins. So very interesting young player for Red Wings fans to get a look at throughout this prospect tournament. He's been good so far, and that was quite the finish there to put the Red Wings up 3-0.
Well, Blue Jackets trying to get back. Here's a quick snapper from the right side. And that one ends up off a stick and into the protected netting.
Yeah, Tyler Peddle had the shot right there for the Blue Jackets, and he's got kind of a fun story. Peddle was the last pick of the 2023 NHL entry draft. The Blue Jackets looked like their day was done. They traded back into the end of the 7th round and selected Peddle, who was actually at the draft. So he had sat there for the entirety of the NHL draft, and it looked like he wasn't going to get picked, but the Blue Jackets ended up picking him, and it was a really special moment. He was very, very happy to be drafted.
Sawchuk, D'Souza, now Doucette, and it's 3-0 Detroit. DeAngelis moves in from the point. That one was blocked. His shot ends up behind the goal. Dmitry Voronkov slides it out in front of the Red Wing net. Quick backhand, tipped out in front, and broken up the Red Wing. Soderblom, stick handles out the center. Pass off the stick of Casper, moves down into the corner. Red Wings with the size, forcing it out in front. We got a penalty call coming up, I believe, at Columbus right here as the play is whistled down as DeAngelis face-to-face with the Red Wing player Marco Casper, trying to stir it up a little bit in front of Lalonde, the goaltender.
Yeah, I think they might both be going off right here. They just got tied up and never separated. It looked relatively harmless at the start, but then they got into a little bit more. It's like when football players' face masks connect, something like that, when you guys can't pull apart. Tempers flaring, obviously, late in this first period.
Casper getting the gate for Detroit. You're absolutely right, Dylan, as DeAngelis making his way into the penalty box for Columbus as well.
A little 4-on-4. When you're playing in a tournament like this, we talk about these young players and the experience making an impression. It's good for them to see all kinds of different situations. So
right,
a little 4-on-4 hockey can't hurt.
Yeah, we didn't see 4-on-4 in the first Blue Jackets game, so a lot of open ice for these first-round draft picks with skill. Right now it's going to be Fantilli and Dumais playing with Svozil and Jiricek. That's a lot of fun.
3-0 Detroit. 4-on-4 situation right now. 6:55 to play in the opening period. Soderblom, now to Gibson. Outlet feed to Soderblom at center. Ahead to Sawchuk. He opened the scoring for Detroit. Rolls off his stick. Blue Jackets tip it out the center. Mathurin waits for his teammates to get onside. Turned it over to Fantilli. And Mathurin comes away with it. Stole it from Fantilli ahead. Gibson stick handles deeper in his own zone. There's Fantilli again, just not giving up, and now he retrieves the puck in the corner, tried to move it out in front. Red Wings almost guilty of a minor penalty for hooking right there as Fantilli tried to make something happen.
Yeah, that's just the pure wherewithal of a player like Adam Fantilli, just no give up in his game.
Svozil moves in with a shot, and not much to shoot at. Kosa makes the save. The rebound goes into the corner, and the Wings pitch it out to center. Malatesta quickly waits for his teammates to get onside, moves in with a shot and a save by Kosa again. Now a centering attempt comes to Kulemans with a snapper from the left circle. Boy, that was a good shot and a cat-like glove hand save made by Sebastian Kosa.
Kosa wanted to have a good game today, and you know that. He wanted to come out here and show everybody what he's learned from his experience in the ECHL playing pro hockey for the first year. That was a beauty.
He looks really good. That was a confident save. When the goaltender flashes the glove like that, you know he's feeling good. This is a great setup. James Malatesta sliding it through the slot. Corson Kulemans, who does have offense to his game, thought he was going to score right there, but Kosa robs him flat out.
Still 3-0 Detroit. 4-on-4 hockey for 49 seconds. D'Souza moves it out in front of the goal. Good block right there by Matejchuk as he stopped that centering attempt, scooping it up now behind his own goal. That is Pinelli. 5:40 to go, opening period. 3-0 Red Wings. Pinelli down the middle. Sweeps it over, right side of the ice. Back to Fantilli, up across the Detroit blue line, broken up by the Wings defense. Connor Panay as he dumps it to Cross Hannes, who scoots in after it behind the Columbus goal. Kulemans took him off the puck, hands it ahead. Blue Jackets bring it out the center. Pinelli deflects it into the Red Wing zone. Souza trying to jam it into the corner. They battle for it in that corner. It's loose, and the Wings come away with it. Up the right side, Cross Hannes brings it out to center. Dropping it back, and Pineda dumped that puck behind the Columbus goal. Penalized players are back on, and both teams are at full strength. Inside, 5 minutes to go in the opening period. 3-0 lead for Detroit. Stealing Danielson. Moves in, left circle. Feed in front for Lombardi, and the lane was shut down. Never got that backhand away. Disposal. Outlets it. Comes out to the Detroit blue line. Hustling after it, Danielson. He had 2 assists in the game against the Dallas Stars. Swept it over. Wallander. Now it's almost turned over as Voronkov tried to steal the puck and make his way in towards Sebastian Cossa. He was stopped. Lombardi dug it loose and behind his own goal. Plays it to Doucette. Got a goal here in the period for Detroit. Didn't clear it out. Fantilli covering at the line. His shot deflects into the corner. Blue Jackets trying to make something happen. Voronkov tied up and behind the goal. Tuomisto dangerously cuts in front of his own net, though. Brings it out to center ice, and a penalty. Oh, nope, the net came loose and behind Sebastian Cossa, therefore the whistle.
One other notable difference in the Red Wings in Game 2 compared to Game 1 is they gave up a lot of turnovers, a lot of odd man rushes. We're not seeing that here through the first period today, which is a great improvement, and I think that was a focus. They practiced yesterday. I'm sure Dan Watson was focusing on that during that practice.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't given the Blue Jackets very much at all in this one. I think back to that David Juracek one-time slap shot on the power play. They've had a couple of looks other than that, but a lot of good things going on in front of Sebastian Cossa, and obviously he looks very, very comfortable in this game.
And you know, some players, they know when they leave their goaltender hanging out to dry, right? They got to come back and make sure they don't do that the second time.
Always said the goaltender's the great equalizer, right? Columbus out shooting the Red Wings 10-7 in the first period, but Detroit leading 3-0. Roger from the right point with a shot. Knocked down out in front of the Detroit net. That was Wasis Weisblatt. Gets up quickly. The puck along the right side. Sweeps out the center ice, and Roger will pick it up inside his own zone. Detroit's changing on the goals. The Blue Jackets wheel it back into the Detroit, and icing called against Columbus.
Yeah, Ben Roger trying to catch the Red Wings right there and create an odd man opportunity for the Blue Jackets, but maybe a little bit aggressive with that pass right there that ends up missing everybody, and be an offensive zone draw here for the Red Wings, and maybe an important offensive zone draw because it felt like the Blue Jackets were setting up with more and more time in their offensive end.
Great to be in Traverse City. Traverse City hosts one of the best film festivals in the country. It's usually around July, and a lot of good movies here in Traverse City as the Blue Jackets bring it in. Here's a quick snapper on target, and Cossa made the save.
Got a delayed penalty right here. It looked like Weisblatt was hauled down in the crease. Interference call.
That's exactly right, Dylan. That'll be the call as the penalty box door swings open.
Yeah, Weisblatt, is he the guy going?
Nope, he's going to the bench. And the guilty party is Mathurin for Detroit. So Mathurin into the penalty box, and this is the second power play of the game coming up to Columbus.
Yeah, we'll see if the Blue Jackets can generate some more looks. It's Dmitry Voronkov. He'll be net front. Adam Fantilli, James Malatesta, Denton Matejchuk, and Jordan Dumais are the players out there right now for the Blue Jackets. Again, 3 power play goals in their Thursday opener, the 7-3 victory against the Maple Leafs, but 0 for 1 to start this game.
They've had some good chances, though, on the power play.
Yep, they have.
Casper penalty-killing roll. Panay out there, back on the blue line for Detroit. Casper scoops it up behind his own net and fires it all the way down the ice.
Well, looked like Dmitry Voronkov may have taken a high stick behind the net that went missed right there. Big guy went down, holding his mouth.
Here's Fantilli down the middle, in over the Red Wing line, pushes the deep back, makes a nice move, scores on a backhand. Wow, what a play by Fantilli. Just kept going to the front of the goal. That's a power play goal for Fantilli, and the Blue Jackets are on the board. It's 3-1 Detroit.
Absolutely unbelievable goal there from Adam Fantilli. You see everything in his toolkit. You know, they're on the power play, so you've got the man advantage, but Adam Fantilli took on the entirety of the penalty kill by himself right there. Stick handles, showcases the speed, showcases the hand, showcases the skill, And how about the shot off the backhand as well? Little touch pass there from Denton Matejchuk, and then it's the Adam Fantilli show. How are you? Unbelievable goal there by the Blue Jackets' new draft pick.
Top the backhand, beating Kosa on the stick side. Time of the goal, 16:57, and the Blue Jackets now trail by 2. It's 3-1 Detroit. That was a beautiful goal and great individual effort by Adam Fantilli.
Well, he was due. He had his opportunities in that game against the Maple Leafs, wasn't able to score. Did walk away with 2 assists, but I knew he'd be motivated to score in this one, and he showcased exactly that.
Dylan, you said he was going to score 2 goals tonight, or this afternoon. There's the first one for him as he puts the Blue Jackets on the board. Time ticking away, 2.5 to go, first period, 3-1 Detroit. Mathurin after the puck with Svozil. They check each other in along the corner boards. It's dug loose. Hannes sweeps it to the blue line. Wallander with a move inside, drops it back to Tuomisto. Shoots the puck through traffic, knocked down right out in front, into the corner it goes. Danielson scooping it up for Detroit. Wheels that puck off a stick in front. Wallander in deep for Detroit. Red Wings trying to bounce back after that Adam Fantilli goal. Wings play it to the line. Nobody there, and Tuomisto to pick it up. Actually lets it go to Kosa, who plays it out to Danielson at center. Not across Hannes as the Jackets made a change on the go. Hannes trying to go upstairs on Lalonde. He didn't find that puck as it was trying to go upstairs, and Lombardi now stick handles his way through a crowd. Slowed up, long stretch pass. Here's Malatesta moving in on a breakaway. Shoots the puck, and Kosa comes up with a save on him.
Just a big save right there by Sebastian Kosa. A really nice play, a headman feed for James Malatesta, who has a lot of speed, but Sebastian Kosa has been dynamite.
Quick snapshot by Sawchuk looking for his second after getting the feed from Lombardi, and Lalonde comes up with a save. 1:25 to go. Let's take a look right here, Dylan, on the opportunity just moments ago.
Yeah, you're going to see this long pass ahead for James Malatesta, who has a couple steps on his man. Took him a second to corral, but I mean, Sebastian Kosa is locked, and you saw how out in front of the crease he was right there. And think about a guy who's that big at 6'6", 230 pounds. When he's out on top of the crease, where are you supposed to go? And just blocked all the angles right there for James Malatesta, who didn't necessarily have a whole lot of time to set things up, but Sebastian Kosa has been so impressive in this first period.
That was a nice lead pass ahead to Malatesta, who tried to score for the Columbus Blue Jackets. 1:20 to go here in the opening period. Glad you're in tune here in Traverse City, Michigan. 3-1 lead for Detroit. Panay along the boards, turned it over. Into the corner, it's sent out in front. DeAngelis from the left point shot the puck off the shin pad of Molovsky. That one to the far boards. Fantilli goes in after it, let it go, and now Lombardi coming away for Detroit. He's got a lot of moves. Makes his way down the right side, pass off the stick of Molovsky, comes back towards the right side. Now Fantilli again, he's a one-man show. Brings it up across the line. Drops it back to the trailer. In front now. Here's a shot by DeAngelis. Short side, and he just missed the upper corner of the goal.
Well, we've seen Jordan Dumais with so many good passes already in that game. He seems to always find the open man and created a great chance for the Blue Jackets there. Unfortunately for DeAngelis, his shot just a little bit high and wide.
And muscle his man, and along the boards right there was Delic. Big, strong defenseman as it comes out to the Columbus zone, and DeAngelis sweeps it ahead. Delic striding up across the right side, checked in along the boards as he sweeps it in behind the Red Wing goal. 10 seconds to go in the period. 3-1 lead for Detroit. Sawchuk in deep, swept it across. Now here's a lead pass. Soderblom trying to cut in on Juracek. They tie each other up at the horn, and the period comes to a close. And the Red Wings lead Columbus 3-1 after 20 minutes of play.
Yeah, that was a pretty well-played first period. The Red Wings with the 3-1 lead here, Ken. The Sawchuk goal was a pretty one. Outside of that, they scored some greasy ones. You know, a little bit of puck luck on their second goal that made it 2-0, but that's what you need. Daniella talked about it a lot throughout the first period. Just the difference in how the Red Wings look in this game compared to how they came out the first time. A day of practice yesterday, I think they look calmer, they look more comfortable, they look better together, and it's resulted in a lot of first period success. On the other side of things, I thought the Blue Jackets started well in the first period, but then the Red Wings tilted the ice. That penalty kill early on, I think, was big for the Red Wings in this game. And Sebastian Kosa instilling confidence in the players in front of him, right? He made that big save on the one-timer from David Juracek, and The Red Wings kind of took over after that, but a big power play goal by Adam Fantilli to really generate for the Blue Jackets there, create a little bit of life. They felt a little bit dead towards the end of that first period, but Adam Fantilli with an absolutely unbelievable highlight reel goal, electrifying center ice arena, and the Blue Jackets are hoping they can keep that going, I guess, get it rolling a little bit more coming up here in this second period. So 3-1, but I really enjoyed that first period.
14 shots by the Blue Jackets, 8 for the Detroit Red Wings, and boy, it was a tale of two different games. Columbus had a 5-0 lead in their last game against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now the Red Wings had a 3-0 lead against Columbus.
Yeah, the Blue Jackets are in a much different position, but I think Daniella's ready with Alexander Doucette downstairs. Can we toss it down to her?
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. That's right. Alexander Doucette joining me right now. And Alex, I have to ask this question because this Red Wings squad looks a lot stronger here in the first period than you did on Thursday in that first period. What are the differences from game 1 to game 2?
I think we have more confidence. We're playing on our toes. I think last game we played a little bit more on our heels. No, I think it paid right now.
And you had a big goal that put the Red Wings up 3-0 in that first period. And Red Wings fans are excited to see you. You signed your contract back in March. What type of player can Red Wings fans look forward to watching?
I think I can score a goal. I can make some plays. I'm good on both sides. I like to go in the corners and in front of the net, so yeah.
And you're on a line that is centered by Amadeus Lombardi today, who's another exciting young prospect. Have you gotten to know Amadeus at all, and how do you think you guys work together out there?
Yeah, I trained here a little bit last summer, so I met those guys, and he's easy to play with. He made a good pass on my goal, so it's really fun to play with him.
All right, Alex, nice first period. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Back to you guys.
All right, Daniella, thank you very much. Doucette, we were just talking about him and the numbers that he put up in the Quebec League, and wouldn't you know it, a couple of seconds later, he scores that third goal for Detroit.
Yeah, he's a teammate of Jordan Dumais in Halifax. We saw Dumais with some excellent feeds there in the first period. They know each other well. They set each other up offensively in junior, so it's fun to see both of those guys putting on a show early here.
What are your thoughts, overall thoughts of that first period of play, Dylan?
Well, like I said, I thought the Red Wings were the better team there in the first period, but we got to talk about Sebastian Cossa, right? I think he stole the show. What'd you say? The Blue Jackets outshot the Red Wings 14-8 there in period number 1, so 13 saves and quite a few big ones for Sebastian Cossa there in the first period. He's a massive body in net, but I love the confidence he started this game with. On the other side of things, Blue Jackets didn't play great in their defensive end. I think they're going to want to shore some things up there. I'm sure they're going to talk about some things going into this second period. There was a lot of confusion in front of their goaltender, Nolan Lalonde. I know they want the puck more in the offensive zone coming up in the second.
We're at Center Ice Arena here in Traverse City, Michigan. Red Wings lead the Blue Jackets 3-1 in their hockey game this afternoon. We're going to toss it to break, and we'll be back with our special guest, Chris Draper, in just a few short moments, live from Traverse City.
He had practice. Did you yo-yo growing up, or like, yeah, I guess it was.
I had phones. You know how to yo-yo?
You had phones.
Put on your...
Oh, pretty good.
Cross is a yo-yo. Oh, young, 100%.
Oh, you know what you're...
Young's a
Put it on your... Yo, that was pretty
That
good.
was good, eh? Oh, never mind. Just kidding.
Oh, you guys all do it that way, huh?
How you
Not too bad.
Not too bad,
Our
hey.
elementary school, bro.
You're any good at
Like
it?
a freestyle.
Oh!
Like that? TV.
Right, you want to do this?
Oh! Oh my god!
She's good.
Do it. See the tricks. Whoa! Oh my god. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, hey now.
It's all rest.
Throw that thing.
Oh,
Whoa. Oh, look at that. He might have tightened.
pretty good.
Oh!
Oh.
No, you got.
Well, that's my yo-yo experience.
Oh,
It's too low.
Oh, I lost it.
so when you put it on, look at the wrist.
Oh, it's on. Oh, there we go.
And we welcome you back to Center Ice on a Saturday afternoon. Beautiful day out here in Traverse City. And joining me right now, Chris Draper, and Assistant General Manager of the Detroit Red Wings. Always good to see you, Drapes. But the first thing I have to ask is, what happened to your eye, man? What's going on? Hockey's a dangerous sport,
Yeah.
but so is pickleball, isn't
Well,
it?
I'd like to say that it happened on the ice like the good old days, but that's not the truth. Little pickleball injury. I've been playing up here, and I took a pickleball right to the left eye. So
Was it a
dangerous
former-
sport.
former teammate that
Dangerous.
got you in the
It
eye?
wasn't. No. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But you know, as you know, avid pickleball player, love it, enjoy it. I played every day since I've been up here, so a lot of there's a bunch of guys going out and going golf, and I'm sliding out and playing some pickleball. So it's something I enjoy, and like I said, took one off the left eye. It didn't react the way I wanted to, but we're all good. Back at it again, Ken.
Well, a lot of people enjoy the game of pickleball. It's really getting a lot of popularity, but so is ice hockey. It's great to be back right here in Traverse City. What were overall impressions of that first period?
You know what? I thought it was good. I thought Coach looked good. I thought he looked relaxed. He looked composed. He looked big. Made some good saves. Obviously, little unfortunate one there at the end, but real good individual effort by a heck of a prospect in Adam Fantilli out of the University of Michigan. Actually, my son's roommate on the road. So those guys had. Great kid, passionate kid, obviously very good prospect. Columbus got a good one there, but I thought on our end, I thought Lombardi was skating well, had a lot of good jump, made a nice play on one of the goals. Elmer, I thought from the other night, big and strong and really, assertive with the puck and without the puck. It was good to see Elmer play like that. I thought Wallander's been good, very steady. Obviously had a tough turnover in game one, but I thought besides that, I thought he played really well. He has the puck on the stick. He's confident with it. He sees the ice well. He moves well. Antti Tuomisto's been good. That's been a good pair to watch. Those guys are back at it again tonight, playing together. Antti can really shoot it. Obviously scored a goal the other night. He's got a heavy slapper, and nice to get some of those out. Nate Danielson, has been playing well. Real smart 200-foot player. So I think obviously Marco Kasper, he's gonna skate. He's gonna frustrate the other team's players. Plays with a lot of energy and a lot of passion. And I thought it was nice to see Doucette score. Yep. I think it would be good for him. So it's great for us. We get to sit up there and these are obviously a lot of the prospects that we brought in over the last couple years, and it's fun to watch them play. And more importantly, play against other organizations, top prospects. And I thought the game, the Thursday night game, had a great pace. I thought it was a lot of fun to watch. Obviously tough losing, but it was a fun game to watch. And I know the prospects. A lot of guys spent some time in Detroit down at LCA, and I know they're very excited to get going. And it's fun for us to be able to watch these guys play.
Chris, what's it like for a young player who's maybe 18, 19 years old, maybe just drafted, and coming into this prospects tournament and playing kind of against their own peers? And is it exciting for them?
Oh, absolutely. I think most importantly, I think that first time that you get to put on that Red Wing jersey, you take a lot of pride in that. I think that's something pretty special. These young players, these young prospects, in all four organizations, they work so hard, and the commitment that they have for the game, and then the opportunity to put the jersey on. So I think that's a tremendous opportunity for them. And, Dan Cleary, before we drove up here, Dan talked to our group and basically said this is going to be the most competitive environment and basically hockey that you've played in your careers. And it is, with what you see of what Dallas, Toronto, and Columbus bring up here. Very competitive games. They're skate, they're fast, they're physical. So, that's really what probably we want to give them, that mindset when they come in. And then for them, just go out and be who you are. Don't try to do too much. Play the type of game that that you can play, the type of player that you are, and that's what we want to see. So I think, for them, they train so hard, and then all of a sudden, here we are. Hockey season is obviously upon us, and I know these, the prospects are excited to get going.
Some of these prospects obviously will join the team in training camp, and we'll get some action against some of the pros, so to speak. And what's it like for a young kid to play against guys that have been in the National Hockey League in training camp?
Well, I remember my first training camp way back, and just the opportunity to play against obviously some of the best players, that this game has. I think this is a great tournament for them. Obviously, they're going to play against Sunday. They have a couple days off, and then the opportunity to get on the ice with the NHL players. When the Dylan Larkins, the Brinkets, Kopp, Sider, Raymond, et cetera. When that group gets up on the ice, it's a these guys want to go out on the ice and be a part of it. And really, that's what they're working for. They're working for that dream. They're chasing that dream to become NHL players. So, training camps, the first one's always a little nervous. It's a little nerve-wracking. But I think this prospect tournament kind of helps these guys kind of get in a little bit of a groove and understand where it's going to be. But the fun part is, when the NHL guys come up and you get to mix in with the NHL players, that's always a tremendous opportunity.
Real quick, the team this year going into this hockey season, what are your overall impressions about this Red Wing team that'll start the season in New Jersey?
Can't wait. Obviously Steve, he did a tremendous job with some free agent signings and obviously some trades. And, I was down there last week watching these guys skate. There's a different vibe that I haven't felt in probably about the last 6-7 years with this team. And I know that the players are very excited to get up here and get going and get playing. It's, training camp starts, and then before you know it, they're into the preseason, and away they go. And they all understand how important it's going to be ready to the game that you're talking about, the season, the road opener in New Jersey, then obviously the home opener against Tampa. So they're going to be ready to go, and I'm excited to watch these guys go.
Chris, always good to see you. Thanks for stopping by, and watch out on that pickleball court, okay?
Good way to end it, Ken. I appreciate that.
Right.
You got to get out of the way of those pickleballs, not stop them.
That's why I don't play. It's too dangerous. Anyway, Chris, thanks a lot for joining us. We're in the first intermission here in Traverse City. Thanks for joining the stream today. Red Wings on top of the Blue Jackets 3-1. Much more to come, including second period action coming up next.
Got a little bit of a playoff atmosphere here tonight, Jelly.
Yes,
it does.
Yeah, this place is jumping right now. I get goosebumps every game we play here.
And isn't that just a tremendous scene?
Listen to this crowd.
This is the best place in the world to be.
He is putting the work in, and that's what it takes. If you want to get to the next level, you've got to do more than what the other guys are doing.
Nice shot on Kosa. He makes the save, and he fires, and they're going to get one buried, and it's turned away by Kosa.
He's dialed in. He's extremely focused. He's extremely competitive. The way his mental game has certainly grown and developed is a testament to what he's been doing.
It's my job to stop the puck and give my team the best chance to win. So.
Well, when did you know that you were in the zone?
Probably the first 10 minutes where they were putting some shots on net and just feeling the puck well. I've seen it well, and didn't think I was going to get beat tonight.
Hey, Hedrick with a shot. That's blocked Kosa, and it's worked right on, and a save by Kosa. Off the draw, shot from the line, and Kosa the save.
Welcome back inside Center Ice Arena here in Traverse City, Michigan for the 2023 Prospect Tournament brought to you by Bally Sports. Daniella Bruce alongside Dylan Tyrer and Ken Cal this afternoon. Gentlemen, I know you talked about your thoughts on the first period. Let's talk about what you want to see here coming up in the second. We'll start with the Blue Jackets, who find themselves in a little bit of a hole after the first 20.
Well, Ken and I talked about it a little bit at the end of that first period, that the Blue Jackets had the puck in their end a little bit too much, I think, and the defense in front of Nolan Lalonde didn't look great. Blue Jackets need the puck in the offensive zone a little bit more in the second period here. Obviously, they trail 3-1, so that's the recipe. You need the puck in the O-zone. Just want to see more of Adam Fantilli. He said, "Cowabunga, I'm going for it." In that first period, weaved between everybody for the Red Wings and scored a highlight reel goal off the backhand. On the other side of things, the Red Wings scored some greasy goals in that first period. Blue Jackets need to get to that game, I think.
I'm glad you brought that up, though, because my game plan right now would be get that puck to Adam Fantilli
exactly.
whenever you can. That was a beautiful goal to get the Blue Jackets on the board. That's a big goal, to have a goal coming into the second period and be on the board, a little more confidence.
Yeah, we talked about that, maybe igniting the Blue Jackets. It felt like the ice had tilted in the Red Wings' favor there in the first period. That's the type of player that he is. He's special like that. He can take over and put a team on his back. You don't want him to have to do that all the time, so hopefully some of the other Blue Jackets are able to bury here in this second period. I know Red Wings fans watching are, no, we just want to see Adam Fantilli. But, yeah, I want some other guys to get involved here.
You know what's really good about seeing some of these younger players in the Prospect Tournament, especially guys that are just coming up right now, is the fans here in Traverse City get to see them first before fans watching them either at Nationwide Arena or at Little Caesars Arena. So it's nice to see them make all the moves and really. We saw Kent Johnson here a couple of years ago, and he was just outstanding.
Well, I mean, that's technically Adam Fantilli's first goal in a Blue Jackets uniform. So
go.
everybody in attendance here in Traverse City at Center Ice Arena and everybody watching at home just got to witness a little bit of history.
You did call it. You said he was going to score in this game in our pregame show. You did.
He's due for a couple more for me to be correct about that one, too.
Hey, speak it into existence, right? Manifestation right there.
All right, coming up, second period action. Red Wings lead 3-1, and we're going to turn it over to the man behind the microphone right now, Dylan Tyrer. Take it away, Dylan.
All right, thanks, Ken. I appreciate it. These top lines right back out there. Marco Kasper taking the draw against Fantilli. Here he comes. They had a 2-on-1 for just a moment. Jordan Dumais was skating with him, but Fantilli coughed it up. Of course, he gets it right back. That's what Adam Fantilli does. Willander behind the net now as Adam Fantilli has it in the left wing corner. He's still in pursuit. Adam Fantilli is so good defensively. Jordan Dumais was right there with him. Elmer Soderblom with the puck. Now you can't help but notice him at 6'8". Red Wings streaking up the right wing side. Cross ice feed. Marco Kasper with the shot, but Lalonde makes the save. Looks like we've got a penalty called here. A hooking call against the Blue Jackets. I think it's number 10, Dmitry Voronkov, heading to the penalty box right now. So Voronkov to the box for the first time in a Blue Jackets uniform. Of course, he's fresh over from the KHL in Russia. Big body at 6'4", but in the penalty box right now, the Blue Jackets are going to head to the PK. First time we get to see the Red Wings power play.
That's right, and we saw it a couple of times. They did have a power play goal in that first game against Dallas. Antti Tuomisto was the goal scorer, so you'd like it to look a little stronger. They did score on it, but I think they would like to tweak a few things and look a little cleaner on their power play. So hopefully we see that here today, as everything else has improved from game one.
Nate Danielson won the draw. Willander had it for just a moment. There's a shot, hits some traffic. Luca Del Belbelou's penalty killing for the Blue Jackets had the shot blocked. Cross Hannes with it. Over to the far side, it's Willander with the shot, and that's blocked again. Denton Machaychuk was there, so is Luca Pinelli. Pinelli battling for the puck. Now it's Hannes at the top. Hannes dropped it up for Sawchuk with a long shot. It's off the glass. It's going to be held in by the Red Wings. Danielson has it up top to Wallander. Cross ice for Hannes. Centering feed looking for Sawchuk. Hannes right back to Danielson. Danielson wanted to set up Wallander, but couldn't. Red Wings playing catch right now as Wallander holds just inside the blue line. Bump feed for Sawchuk got interrupted by the Blue Jackets. Now it's Danielson skating below the face-off circle. Got it out to Sawchuk. Wallander holds at the left point. Danielson right back to Wallander. Cross ice for Hannes. Hannes with a shot, and they score! Alexander Doucette right on the doorstep. See who it goes to there. Might have went off a Blue Jacket there. I thought Doucette was on the far side, but Hannes is leading the line, so it looks like Cross Hannes' goal.
Cross Hannes, I talked about him in the pregame show. He did pick up an assist in game one, but that was his first game back since returning from injury. He was just cleared last week. Good to see him getting on the board here again, making things happen, because he was impressive in Grand Rapids leading up to that injury. So he's an exciting young offensive prospect that we want to see get things going. A nice play there again, kind of just throwing the puck in front.
Like it went 5-hole on Nolan Lalonde right there. Doucette was on the doorstep. Lalonde knew he was right there and goes right through the legs. So exactly a minute and a half into this second period, a power play goal for the Red Wings makes it 4-1.
Like the rotation, the Red Wings held that puck in nicely for a long time in the Columbus zone and finishes it off with a goal from Hannes.
Yeah, the movement I thought was terrific there, and a number of holds with the Blue Jackets trying to clear. Just really good work by the Red Wings, who are right back on the puck now.
Very crisp power play. Just like I said before, you want to see some improvement there, and they saw it again. Improvements here from game one.
Martin Rysavy chasing it down, but it's going to be covered up by Sebastian Kosa with 17:59 to play here in period number 2. So I believe Cross Hannes from Danielson and Wallander right there.
Well, Danielson had 2 assists in that loss to the Dallas Stars, so he's picking up a point per game, at least a point per game for the Red Wings.
Blue Jackets are looking to score here with the top line back out. Quick shot from Voronkov, stopped by Sebastian Kosa as the Red Wings attempt to clear. Held by David Juracek over to Adam Fantilli, who had it poked away from him. Good defensive play right there by Matthias Malofsky. It is now Adam Fantilli picking up some speed through the neutral zone over the red line, but had it poked off of his stick by Amadeus Lombardi. Well, these Red Wings seem to be keyed in on Adam Fantilli right now as he's trying to do everything himself for the Blue Jackets. David Juracek with the puck, gets it up to Fantilli. His line will go off for a change. Stanislav Svozil behind the net. Drops off to his countryman David Juracek, who gets it up to Fantilli, who's still out there on the ice. By the way, Fantilli cross ice for Juracek. Goes to the forehand and scores.
What a play by Fantilli to get the puck over to Juracek.
A long shift for Adam Fantilli, too. He was out there for a while to be able to overcome what were sure to be tired legs and make that play. Great move by Juracek. Blue Jackets, top 2 picks from the last couple of drafts linking up right there. Backhand sauce from Adam Fantilli finds David Juracek, a defenseman, flying through the slot. Juracek went backhand to forehand, top shelf. Beautiful goal for the big Czech defenseman. He's got some offense in his game, but it's just a little glimpse of the future for the Columbus Blue Jackets right there. I know CBJ fans are smiling at home watching that one. Well, those were the 2 players that I had highlighted when I looked at the Columbus Blue Jackets lineup, so very exciting for them.
Well, we know that Fantilli can score. We saw him score a beautiful goal, but he's also a good table setter, and that was a beautiful setup.
Coach Adelic had it poked away from him. As Corson Ceulemans is defending for the Blue Jackets. Nice stick as he was able to poke it away from Dean Lucas. Quick shot there, went through Nolan Lalonde's crease and into the right wing corner. Blue Jackets looking to get it out of their end, and they do. Oasis Weisblatt was there for a moment. Now it's Denton Matejchuk over to Corson Ceulemans, up to Delic. Delic with it in the right wing corner. Back up top to Corson Ceulemans. James Malatesta off the bench. They tried to get it to him, but he overskated as the Red Wings bring it the other way. Lucas laid out, but it looks like we've got a whistle and a cross-checking penalty coming.
Cross-check must have happened behind the play.
Yeah, Connor Punnett is the man responsible, so he's heading off, and the Blue Jackets will go back to the power play here with an opportunity to make it interesting. 4-2 game with 16-15.
Looked like they gave that goal to Del Bell Blues, but that can't happen.
No, that's incorrect. That was David Juracek all the way right there.
That's what they just announced.
They probably misidentified 65 as 55.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they just made a little
Those
mistake.
guys couldn't be any more different, though.
Yeah.
Too much cherry soda down there.
Give him a break, Ken.
It's early on, I know.
Jordan Dumais floating with the puck, gets it up top to Denton Matejchuk, cross ice, one-time shot Fantilli, Dumais with a shot and he scores! Well, that might have been a design pass right there from Adam Fantilli off the pads of the goaltender Sebastian Cossa. Regardless, it worked out to a T. Jordan Dumais, all he had to do was fire it into the empty net right there, but the Blue Jackets with another quick power play goal have now made it a 1-goal game, 4-3 with 16:03 to play here in the second period. So the Blue Jackets linking up for a couple of quick ones, and this couldn't be any more different than what we saw in the first period.
Completely flipped.
2 for 3 on the power play for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
I believe they're now 5 for 6 in the first 2 games with the man advantage. So the Red Wings reeling a little bit here.
Yeah, Adam Fantilli, a big part of all 3 goals, too. And
Yep.
that's what you like to see, though. That's what you want to see from a guy like Adam Fantilli.
David Juracek back out on the ice after his goal. His first of the tournament. Gets it up to his countryman, Martin Rysavy. Rysavy from Czechia dumps in. Tyler Peddle giving chase. Cam Butler was there as well. Rysavy battling for it in the corner. Butler joined the party, but the Red Wings come away with it. Here come the Wings up the ice. Marco Kasper flying on the left wing side. Tries to toe drag around David Juracek, but he goes down. No whistles, no arms up. James Malatesta in there with Cam Butler. Tyler Peddle had it float away from him. Elmer Soderblom missed the pass, but the Red Wings have it. Back to Soderblom off the backhand for Kasper, and his shot whistles wide.
Well, he had that upper corner pick, too.
Stanislav Svozil leading the rush for the Blue Jackets as the puck trickles in on Cossa, who will cover up with just under 15 minutes remaining here in the second period.
If you're a Red Wing fan and you're looking at Sebastian Cossa, it's good in these prospect tournament games for a goaltender to say, you know what, just got to forget about those last 2 goals, concentrate on the game that's being played right now. And this is a good test for him in regard to just making sure that he keeps focused and plays the way he can play, despite giving up those 2 quick goals.
Luca Del Bel Belluz, definitely not David Juracek, won the faceoff right there for the Blue Jackets, but the Red Wings do have the puck as they clear.
Does Jiricek take faceoffs too?
Most certainly does not. Wallander with it, floating into the slot. Had a shot blocked, traffic in front, jamming for it, but it's covered up by Lalonde. Luca Pinelli dragging a man out of the crease there.
You know, that's Marco Kasper, and Marco Kasper really does like to, oh no, that was not Marco Kasper, my apologies.
Israel Mianskum, I think, right there?
82, not 92.
Finish your point, though, about Marco Kasper. I want to learn about him.
He likes to mix it up. He gets in those gritty areas, and that's why I thought it was him, because he's going right to the net there. And he also probably wouldn't mind getting dragged out by a player. He mixes it up. He likes to get in people's faces. He's kind of a pest out there sometimes.
He and Adam Fantilli both.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll square off at some point.
You know, you don't see that all the time from the high-end prospects like that, but those two definitely have that little edge to their game.
Danielson taking the face-off there for the Red Wings. Oasis Weisblatt able to pop it over the blue line for the Blue Jackets, though, as Coach Adelic is offside.
I think a slashing penalty coming up here to the Red Wings.
I can tell you one thing. If you're the Red Wings right now, you do not want to be taking penalties in this situation. And again, we talk about the learning curve that some of these prospects are going through right now. This is one of them. You're in a situation here. You're up a goal. All the momentum is with the Blue Jackets. You don't want to take a penalty there.
Well, Mianskum just did the two-hand chop to the stick of the Blue Jacket player there and just chopped his stick in two, and he's going to get the gate. And boy, this isn't what the Red Wings want right now. They've given up 2 power play goals and 3 opportunities, and they're right back killing a penalty.
Yeah, I'd go as far as saying that's a bad penalty right there for the Red Wings. As now Denton Matejchuk has it for the Blue Jackets. Back to Jordan Dumais, setting up Malatesta with a shot, and he scores. There was some traffic in front, may have been deflected, but another power play goal for the Blue Jackets just 6 seconds in to the man advantage. James Malatesta is leading the line, so I'm going to assume his shot went in off a Red Wing right there as it was deflected in front.
You know, Dylan, I think it went off the stick of Kosa.
Yeah.
And in behind him into the net as we get a look at the replay as it happened real quick.
Yeah, Jordan Dumais setting up Malatesta with a very quick shot. Dmitry Voronkov was the guy in front, big body providing the screen, but we're tied up here 4-4. What a different story in this second period, not even 6 minutes in.
Again, you talked about Sebastian Kosa being able to shake it off, even more so important now. And if the Red Wings do make their goaltender switch, that's coming in a few minutes. But you don't want to see his confidence take a hit there. You've got to learn as a goaltender to let it go, like you said, Ken.
Well, the other thing, too, is you got to stay out of the penalty box.
Right. You're 100% right. Your 5 men on the ice have to know the situation.
That top line for the Red Wings is back out there as Dmitry Voronkov took it away from Kasper, who sets him down. Jordan Dumais streaking in and scores. Wow. Jordan Dumais. He's had a game here alongside Adam Fantilli with a couple of assists and now a goal as the Blue Jackets take the lead at 5-4.
4 straight goals for the Blue Jackets.
13:56 to play here in the second period, and the Blue Jackets have already scored 4 to take a 5-4 advantage.
Yeah, 4 goals in less than 4 minute span. Well, they always say hockey is a 60-minute game, and you know, you can't let up, and it looks like Kosa is heading over to the Red Wing bench. We could see a goaltending change right now at 13:56 to play in the second period.
Yeah, get a little scrape of the ice. It looks like the Red Wings want to talk things over as well.
Columbus goal, scored by number 69, Jordan Dumais.
What do we got going on over there, Ken? Just having a conversation, timeout call just to gather themselves?
Kosa looked like he was going to exit the ice, but the backup goaltender for the Red Wings didn't have his face mask on, so it looks like Kosa will just talk things over with his players and coaching staff and get back in there, and there he goes. He goes back between the pipes.
Dan Watson just called a timeout to kind of calm things down for the Red Wings here. Again, the Blue Jackets scoring 4 times early on in this second period to take a 5-4 lead. As Nate Danielson's line is out there for the Red Wings, he'll win the faceoff. Danielson's been impressive in the faceoff circle in this game, winning a number of draws as Ben Roger chases it down in the corner for the Blue Jackets. The Red Wings had it for just a moment. Tyler Peddle tipping it ahead. He was looking for Martin Rysavy, but the Red Wings able to hold. Rysavy does finally clear the zone, but with it for a moment was Jackson D'Souza. He sent it all the way in, but that's going to be an icing called here against the Red Wings, so an offensive zone faceoff will be coming for the Blue Jackets.
Well,
oh no, do we have a penalty now?
The Red Wings have to regroup a little bit and maybe between periods take a look at that penalty kill because the Blue Jackets deadly on the power play. 3 for 4 on the power play here in this game this afternoon. They trailed 3-1 coming into this period, and now they lead the Red Wings 5-4, 13:33 to go in the second.
Amadeus Lombardi facing off against Luca Del Bel Belluz. Got a whistle there as the puck was dropped.
No penalties called.
Yeah, no penalties there. Luca Pinelli and Alexander Doucette mixing it up. Drifting closer and closer to that face-off circle there, right on top of Del Bel Belluz and Lombardi. They were asked to back up before, but nothing doing this time as David Jiricek goes cross-ice for Stanislav Svozil. Svozil up ahead to James Malatesta searching for the puck, and he chips forward to Luca Pinelli. Pinelli over to Luca Del Bel Belluz. He couldn't corral, chases it down into the right wing corner, gets it up top to Jiricek. Now on the left side, Svozil with a long shot. Hit a body, goes off the glass, and the Red Wings will try to clear. Now with some speed, here come the Red Wings. It's Amadeus Lombardi. Lombardi now in the high slot. A quick shot there goes high over top of the crossbar, and Wallander has it in his own zone.
That was Tuomisto moving in on the left side with a good opportunity to score right there for Detroit.
Well, Wallander's size is very apparent as Luca Del Bel Belluz picks off a pass. Del Bel Belluz on the far side. Back to Del Bel Belluz, who fanned on a shot. Tuomisto has it for the Red Wings in the corner. Tried to clear on the backhand, held by Stanislav Svozil. The Blue Jackets will shovel the puck behind the net, but the Red Wings with it once more. It's Malofsky. Now Doucette. Doucette turned it over. Delic on the back check that time. Here comes Weisblatt over the blue line. Drops off to Malatesta, providing a screen. Denton Matejchuk back to Malatesta, who scores. My goodness, the Columbus Blue Jackets have come to play here in the second period as they've now scored 5 unanswered goals to take a 6-4 lead. James Malatesta with 2 of them.
Yeah, this is the tale of 2 periods, if you could say so. The Red Wings came out on fire. They're a little bit more on their heels now, and Columbus has taken it to them a bit.
5 goals scored in a span of less than 5 minutes. And Kosa is now making his way over to the Red Wing bench, and Matejka will be the goaltender for Detroit as he takes his position between the pipes and the end to our right.
Lucas Matejka, 6'3", 187-pounder from Czechia. So that does it for Sebastian Kosa as the Blue Jackets caused him a lot of trouble here in the second period after he was terrific in the first. So the Red Wings trying to find their footing now as Weisblatt provides a big hit as the Red Wings will dump it in. Corson Kuhlman's chasing it down. Weisblatt on the far side tried to chip it out between his legs, but the Red Wings will hold. Corson Kuhlman's with it in the corner, now plays it behind the net to his defensive partner, Denton Matejchuk, who had an excellent assist on that James Malatesta goal, sliding it through the slot to him. Blue Jackets still having trouble clearing right now. Sean McGurn had it popped off of his stick. Corson Kuhlman's right back to Matejchuk. Matejchuk up ahead for Weisblatt, who's taken down. Coach Delic had it for just a moment. Now it's the Red Wings again. Nick Sema was battling for the puck for Detroit. Now it's Mathurin. Mathurin with it on the left wing side. Still with it, centering feed. Lalonde with a big save. Well, Nolan Lalonde hasn't been tested in some time, but he comes up with a big one right there to keep it 6-4 Columbus. As Sean McGurn couldn't corral the long pass, but now he does chip into the right wing corner. Marco Kasper took it away from him. Kasper uses his size very, very well as now he's heading through the neutral zone.
Not much information on the new Red Wing goaltender, Lucas Matejchuk. 18 years old, 6'3", 187 pounds. That's all we have on him.
Jordan Dumais with it below the goal line, looking for Adam Fantilli, but he couldn't find the puck. Looked like it might have got caught in some snow behind the net there. It has piled up a little bit. Red Wings will look to clear their zone. Andrew Gibson still holding on to the puck now. Gibson slowing things down. He went cross ice for Jackson D'Souza. D'Souza put it right past Adam Fantilli, but Dmitry Voronkov there to defend. Now Fantilli tried to go to Jordan Dumais. That pass deflected off of his stick as Dumais puts it into the corner, chased down by DeAngelis. Martin Rysavy looking to box out his man there, Riley Sawchuk. As that top line is back out on the ice for the Red Wings. Ben Roger with some speed on the right wing side. Tried to get it over to Martin Rysavy, but couldn't. Roger right back with it. DeAngelis with a long shot. Hit some traffic in front. Adam Fantilli off the backhand. Tried to punch another goal home there, but Mateka coming up big with his first save of the game. Now it's Ben Rogers slowing things down for the Blue Jackets. His pass missed DeAngelis. Martin Rysavy now tied up along the wall in the neutral zone. Cameron Butler in for some support as that puck goes all the way down the ice. Tyler Peddle chasing it down, centering feed for Butler. His stick was tied up, so he couldn't get good wood on it. But now it's Tyler Peddle again. Sends it up top for Matejchuk. Cross ice to Ceulemans. Ceulemans trying to dance around his man. Now floats down into the right wing corner. His centering feed goes through the crease. Look like we've got a delayed penalty on the Red Wings here as Cameron Butler has it. Cross ice for Peddle with a one-time shot and a score. 7-4, Blue Jackets lead with 9:17 to play in this second period. Tyler Peddle with his first goal of the tournament on the delayed penalty.
Well, when it rains, it pours, I guess, Daniella.
Long period for the Red Wings, and at this point, you're kind of thinking, regroup, take a break, hold on to the puck, hold possession a little bit longer, slow things down, and hopefully start to climb your way back.
They always break at the halfway point of every period here. Red Wings have already used their timeout.
Right.
But, boy, just an explosion by the Blue Jackets here. You know, I was looking at Dumais. He's got a couple of goals in this hockey game. And Dylan, he had 2 goals in that first game, too, against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So right now, 4 goals in the tournament.
Yeah, Jordan Dumais really welcomed himself to the Blue Jackets organization after being a draft pick 2 years ago in Montreal. He had a great Traverse City Prospects tournament in his last go-around, scoring 2 goals in his first game. And Trent Vogelhuber, the Blue Jackets head coach, he's normally the head coach of their American Hockey League affiliate, the Cleveland Monsters, raved about him after the first game, so still hot right now.
Well, the other thing, too, is there was a delayed penalty coming up to Detroit right there. And if Peddle doesn't score right there, the potent power play, the Blue Jackets right back out there. Red Wings have to clean up their game a little bit. They got to make sure that they stay out of the penalty box because the power play of Columbus here this afternoon really taking control of this game.
It's interesting how sharp the Red Wings looked in that first period and how flat they came out here in the second. And I mean, you've got to credit Columbus as well. They came out ready to ride, ready to play in that second period. Didn't like the way they came out in the first.
Well, most of the action's been in the Red Wings zone. We mentioned the power play, but the Wings have only mustered 5 shots on goal here in the second period.
Stanislav Svozil corrals the puck in the neutral zone for the Blue Jackets. David Jiricek up ahead to Luca Del Belbaluz. Del Belbaluz with a finesse pass to James Malatesta with a shot. A big rebound right there as the Blue Jackets are back on the puck. And now the Red Wings will clear through the neutral zone. Stanislav Svozil once more. Up ahead to James Malatesta looking to catch the Red Wings in a change, but it's like an offside right there. And we'll have a whistle and a face-off coming. 8.5 minutes to go in the second period. 7-4 Blue Jackets.
6 straight goals by the Blue Jackets. Unanswered goals in a span of less than 8 minutes. And that has done the Red Wings in here in the second period. 24 shots by Columbus, 13 for the Detroit Red Wings. And the Red Wings have to find out, they got to spend more time in that offensive zone. And a lot of times all you have to do is you just got to work the corners and pay the price and just try to keep the puck in the offensive zone.
Blue Jackets win the face-off. Coach Adelik pushed off the puck by Mathurin there. Lombardi with it for the Red Wings, streaking up the right wing side. Looked like he was trying to chip it ahead, but it went off the linesman there.
And the other thing, Dylan and Daniella, if you're looking at the Red Wings, you have to involve all your teammates right here. I know you try to do, a lot of times players will try to do things by themselves as individuals, and you got to go back to the team game, and you just can't try to do everything by yourself. So Wings have to try and get that team game going. And again, as I mentioned before, stay in that offensive zone. Easier said than done, but you gotta work hard in along the corners, pin that puck in, take a few hits, but try to play more of the game in that offensive zone.
Blue Jackets top line is back out there. Jordan Dumais held right at the blue line, chips it in deep. Dmitry Voronkov going in after it. Now it's Jordan Dumais off the backhand to Voronkov, centering feed Fantilli. His one-timer was interrupted by a good stick from a Red Wing right there, so a nice defensive play by Detroit. As here come the Red Wings. Alexander Doucette leading the rush. Cross ice to Lombardi. Off the backhand. His shot never made it to Nolan Lalonde, and here come the Blue Jackets again. Jordan Dumais with some speed through the neutral zone. Adam Fantilli slowing things down just inside the blue line. Got it ahead to Roger with the shot, and the save is made by Mateka. Jordan Dumais tried to center. Mateka's going to cover up. Adam Fantilli just took what looked like a slash right there off of his wrist as he's keeled over heading towards the Blue Jackets bench. We'll see if that ends up getting called. I think it's going to be.
That's Panay, the defenseman who was involved in a fight with Grushnikov in that game against the Dallas Stars and kind of whacked at Fantilli right there.
So the Blue Jackets going back on the power play here. That's the second time that Connor Punnett there has been sent to the penalty box. He had some words for Adam Fantilli. But Fantilli looks okay now, taking the face off. See if the Blue Jackets can't score another power play goal right here. The power play has been dynamic here in this second period as the Blue Jackets have scored 6 unanswered goals to take a 7-4 lead. Fantilli's going to be thrown out of the faceoff circle.
One thing to note for Red Wings fans watching, obviously the penalty kill has not been great, but Elmer Soderblom out there getting some time, which I mentioned earlier in our broadcast, just to get a look out there on the penalty kill.
Well, you don't want to do this. You don't want to go the well that often if you're seeing a Columbus power play. It's been dynamic here this afternoon. You're right back into the penalty box.
Not an ideal situation at all.
Oh, the Blue Jackets won the face-off there, but they couldn't hold the puck inside the blue line, so everybody's going to have to come on out and touch up. Is Denton Matejchuk being harassed by Soderblom.
Unofficially, I have the Blue Jackets 3 for 4 with the man advantage in the game.
James Malatesta with a long shot that looked like it hit his stick and redirected over the crossbar. Malatesta working with Jordan Dumais in the corner. Still looking for the puck as the Red Wings attempting to clear, but they haven't been able to yet. Denton Matejchuk has it for the Blue Jackets just inside the blue line. Tosses it off to Adam Fantilli below the face-off circle. Centering feed. He was looking for Voronkov, but he was tied up. Now it's Jordan Dumais. Dumais cross ice looking for Fantilli. Hit him in the skates with the pass. So that allows Tuomisto of the Red Wings back on the puck. He pushes Dumais off. Now it's James Malatesta again. Malatesta was looking for Dumais. Soderblom with a good stick right there to interrupt the pass. And now the Red Wings will send it down the ice.
One thing about Fantilli, I like watching him away from the puck. He just knows where to set up. He's a dynamic offensive hockey player.
Fantilli with the shot, and he scores right on cue. Ken Cal is talking about Adam Fantilli knowing exactly where to be. Well, a relatively harmless play right there. Jordan Dumais just touching it ahead to Adam Fantilli, and he splits the wickets of Lucas Mateka to take an 8-4 lead. So another power play goal for the Blue Jackets here, make that 7 unanswered in the second period. This team's feeling it. Obviously very, very good on the power play.
Good players know where to be on the ice.
Yep.
And we were just mentioning Fantilli and setting up in the offensive zone, knows what position to be in, anticipates where the puck will be at, and that's his second goal of the game right there. And again, 4 for 5 on the power play unofficially for the Blue Jackets in this game.
Yeah, I think that makes it now 7 of 8 for Columbus across the 2 games with the power play. So those guys have a lot of confidence when they're skating with the extra attacker. Long shot here. Did Detroit score? Yes, they did. Cross Hannes able to score a greasy one in front as that puck was floating around, bouncing off of bodies, but Hannes, the last man to touch it, and Red Wings are back on the board here, 8-5.
Well, there is no lack of excitement here in this game. I think that's Cross Hannes' second goal of the game. Yep. He was credited with one of the Red Wings earlier in the game. So again, Cross Hannes coming back from that injury. Good to see him adjusting well, and that could be a spark the Red Wings need right now.
18 seconds after the goal by Fantilli on the power play. Hannes, you're right, Daniella, second goal of the period for Hannes. He scored way back at the 1:30 mark to make it a 4-1 game at that point, Detroit, but then the floodgates opened up.
That feels like another lifetime ago at this point, Ken. Columbus really came back here in this second period, but again, that could be the spark the Red Wings need.
Well, obviously, defense not a big part of this game for both of these two teams here. 5.5 to go here in the second period. It's 8-5. If you like offense, this is the game for you. 8-5 Columbus.
Luca Pinelli on the puck for the Blue Jackets. Got it over to David Jiricek. Luca Del Belbaluz looking for it. Lost it in his skates. Mianscom had it for just a moment for the Red Wings. Now it's Luca Pinelli. Backhand centering feed looking for Luca Del Belbaluz. Del Belbaluz chasing it down in the corner as the Red Wings will float it high in the air through the neutral zone. And it drops right by Denton Matejchuk. Under 5 minutes to play here in the second period. 8-5 the Blue Jackets lead it. They've scored 7 times here in period number 2. As we'll have a face-off coming here. Stretch feed from the Red Wings, missed everybody, went all the way down the ice, so in icing and an offensive zone draw here coming for the Blue Jackets.
Well, if you're the Blue Jackets, you want to continually be on the offense and try to score some more goals on the Red Wings, and if you're the Red Wings, you have to somehow try to play a little more offensively in the Columbus zone and try and get back into this hockey game. Far from over, it's only a 3-goal lead. We've had a lot of offense in this hockey game so far.
Well, I think, Ken, I said coming into this second period that the Blue Jackets simply had to spend more time in the offensive zone as Delik's shot is blocked. And it's easy to do that when you're on the power play like they have been.
And that's the thing. Red Wings have to stay out of the penalty box.
Coach Delik up top to Denton Matejchuk. Now it's Corson Ceulemans. Ceulemans backing away from his man, looking for a shooting lane, maybe a passing lane now, still holding on to the puck. Floats it into the slot. McGurn is in there. His shot trickles wide. Now it's Delik. Delik in the left wing corner. Gets it up top to McGurn. Now it's Matejchuk with it once more. Floated it down towards McGurn. All the way behind the net. Past Oasis Weisblatt. The Red Wings unable to clear as Corson Ceulemans held for a moment. Denton Matejchuk chasing on after it. Lays a hit on Gibson. Now the puck tied up in 5 skaters over there, it looks like, between the two sides. Denton Matejchuk's going to come off the ice and go for a change. Nicholas DeAngelis replaces him as the puck is still frozen over there. Now it's Dmitry Voronkov who comes away with it. Voronkov to DeAngelis with a long shot that actually hit Voronkov and allows the Red Wings to gather. Going to have a penalty called here against Dmitry Voronkov. I think a hooking call as he tied up Gibson right at the blue line, so a power play opportunity here for Detroit.
Well, Dylan, this is an opportunity for the Red Wings to close out a disastrous second period. If they can score a power play goal here and make it a 2-goal game, it's kind of like you win the situation going into the period, and hopefully that momentum carries you into the third. What you don't want to do right now is give up a shorthanded goal. That would be not good for the Red Wings coming up here late in the second period.
So another power play chance for Detroit as Tuomisto has it inside the blue line. Cross ice for Casper with a one-time shot, and the save is made by Lalonde. He'll hold on to the puck, and we'll have another face-off coming here with 3:29 to go. So Nolan Lalonde with a big save right there, helping out his penalty killers. Ben Roger using his long reach behind the net and able to send it all the way down the ice. So Roger's size an advantage there for the Columbus Blue Jackets, an invite to this tournament. Marco Casper with it now for the Red Wings. Up ahead to Amadeus Lombardi over the blue line. On the far side, the Red Wings holding on to it. DeAngelis was there for a moment as Tuomisto floats it down low to Soderblom. Now it's Lombardi on the half wall. Lombardi tried to go off the backhand, but Tyler Peddle was there, and the puck goes into the bench. So we'll have another face-off coming here with 2:55 to go in the second period. $1:21 remaining on this Red Wings power play.
One of the things that was impressive about the Columbus power play this afternoon, Dylan, is the fact that they were able to set up and keep that puck in the offensive zone and cash in sometimes early on the power play. Red Wings have to make sure they keep that puck in the offensive zone, like they did in the opening period. Just kind of wheel it around a little bit, look for the best opportunity.
Nolan Lalonde behind the net. Will float it looking for Cam Butler, but he couldn't bring it down off the glass. Now it's Danielson, who's won a ton of faceoffs in this game. He won another setting up this offensive zone time. As Wallander goes with a long shot, sticked away by Lalonde, and the Blue Jackets will clear once more. Mateka plays it, and we'll see if he just calms things down. Yes, he will, as he hands it off to Wallander.
That was Doucette right out in front of the net, trying to redirect it between the pads of Lalonde.
Nate Danielson over the blue line on the right wing side, centering feed. Nobody was there for Detroit. Now it's Sawchuk. Wallander inside the blue line, right back to Sawchuk. Cross Hannes tried to get it back to Sawchuk, who's hauled down by Martin Rysavy. A helmet is off for a Red Wing as Stanislav Svozil comes in. Svozil with Rysavy. Rysavy couldn't corral the pass. And here comes Detroit with some numbers. It's Nate Danielson leading the rush over the blue line, floating in through the slot with a shot and a stick save made right there by Nolan Lalonde. Well, Lalonde saw that shot coming all the way and made a good one to keep it 8-5 Blue Jackets. Under 10 seconds remaining on this power play as Marco Kasper is back out there for Detroit. He played catch with Gibson for a moment, as now Lucas will come in off the backhand, but Corson Ceulemans takes it away from him. Dropped off to Jordan Dumais, who takes a big hit. Long shot by the Red Wings, and the puck will go into the right wing corner. 1 minute and 22 seconds to play here in the second period. Adam Fantilli back out for Columbus. Dmitry Voronkov joining him as Jordan Dumais trying to tie up his man. The Red Wings do have it in the offensive zone, though, just for a moment as Adam Fantilli takes it away and gets it to Corson Ceulemans. Ceulemans up the ice looking for Voronkov, who had beaten his man. Now Voronkov below the goal line, trickling behind the net. Adam Fantilli joins him. Dumais in there as well. Both teams fighting for the puck. Voronkov using his size. Up to Roger. Roger with a long shot. He missed the net. Adam Fantilli now with it in the corner. Fantilli plays it behind the net, looking for Voronkov. And right back to Adam Fantilli. Some big contact right there along the half wall as Fantilli searches for the puck. Gets it to Jordan Dumais. Dumais now skating away to create some space. Ben Roger with it. Roger goes back and forth with Oasis Weisblatt, but their give and go didn't quite work out as the Red Wings have it. 20 seconds to play here in the second period as Sema nearly had it taken away, but we've got an offside called here against Detroit, it looks like.
A couple big hits there at the whistle as well. I know in Columbus, they don't like the University of Michigan, but I think the Blue Jackets enjoy those Michigan Wolverine players. Fantilli, 2 goals here today. And how about Kent Johnson? He's another winner.
Yeah, Kent Johnson scoring that beautiful Michigan goal in the National Hockey League against the Islanders last season. Another player with an extremely bright future in Columbus. Coach Adelik out there to take the face-off for the Blue Jackets, taking on Amadeus Lombardi. Adelik wins the draw. 14 seconds to go here in the second period. 8-5 Blue Jackets. Now it's Sean McGurn inside the blue line. But a delayed offside, I suppose, here against the Blue Jackets.
Well, the Wings just want to get out of this period, kind of regroup, and have a solid third period. But, boy, I'll tell you what, Columbus with those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 unanswered goals in that second period, really the difference in this one so far.
I think the Blue Jackets were called for being intentionally offside right there. So the face-off comes in to the offensive zone of Detroit. Sean McGurn will now poke it out. It looks like we've got a high stick as time expires here on the second period. So we'll see what happens there as Connor Punnett dropped his stick and headed off the ice. But a big second period by the Columbus Blue Jackets as they score 7 times to take an 8-5 lead. And Ken, what do you attribute it to there in the second period? The Red Wings just couldn't stay out of the box.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. You know what? Earlier in the period, it was Punnett who kind of slashed at the arms of the wrist of Fantilli. And now late in the period there, maybe a little retribution with that high stick on Punnett too, who sent him off the ice right at the end of the period. Don't know if it was accidentally on purpose, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, tell me what you think about Adam Fantilli, because this guy's been all over the ice here in the second.
Well, I saw him a little bit at the University of Michigan. Obviously, he was terrific there, but in this game today, first time I've seen him play at this level, he's just been dynamic. And as I mentioned, not only can he finish, he's a finisher, but he's a table setter as well. And away from the puck, that's what I like to see, those great players. Like Gretzky was the same way. All the top line players, they know where to be on the ice to set themselves up to get in good position.
Well, speaking of Adam Fantilli, he is downstairs with Daniella Bruce, so let's throw it down there to Daniella.
That's right, Adam. It feels like this game has been the tale of 2 periods. Obviously a tough start for you and your squad, but you come back and score 7 unanswered in the second period. What was the message in the locker room after the first period?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't even think it was a tough start. I think they got a couple of quick ones there, maybe a couple of lucky bounce off a skate or something like that, and I thought we were doing really well on the forecheck. Just messages, stay on our forecheck, stay on our guys, and keep playing the way we were playing, and eventually the goals were going to come, and they did this period.
And you personally leading the way for your team, a couple of goals and a couple assists for you. Obviously, you're looking to take something from this and bring that with you into your first NHL training camp. What exactly are you hoping to take away?
I'm just trying to put my best foot forward like everybody else here. I'm trying to build relationships with the guys in my room. obviously there's just some guys that I could be playing with for a very long time, and I want to become pretty close with them. Obviously, in terms of the pace of play, I want to play the best I can, and I don't know. I mean, I think everybody here is playing pretty well, so I think it's a pretty high pace, and just get used to that and bring that into your first training camp.
And lastly, for you, obviously some Red Wings fans pretty excited to see you making it and taking on your first NHL training camp. As a former Michigan Wolverine, you're back in Michigan for the tournament. What's it like being up here in Traverse City, and how would you describe this tournament?
Yeah, it's really nice being back in the state. I mean, I see some people with some Red Wings jerseys and Michigan hats and vice versa, so really nice to see those hats. And I don't know, being in Columbus for a little bit is a couple too many Buckeyes, but yeah, I think it's all in good fun, and it's really good to see the turnout that they've had here.
Unfortunately, you're going to have to get used to those Buckeyes.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Adam. Great to see you.
Thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks very much to Daniella Bruce. Again, speaking there with Adam Fantilli, the number 3 overall pick in the 2023 NHL entry draft by the Blue Jackets. Ken, he and the Blue Jackets firing on all cylinders right now as they lead the Red Wings 8-5. But if you're in that Red Wings dressing room right now, how do you get back into this game? What are you talking about?
Well, again, it's just one period. And, the Blue Jackets scored 7 goals on just 11 shots. It seemed like they had a lot more shots on goal in that second period. But if you're the Red Wings right now, you just got to figure out a way to get back into this game. And defense hasn't been the name of this game here, obviously, with all the goals scored, 8 by Columbus, 5 for Detroit. But you want to go out, win the period, and have a good showing for the next game, which the Red Wings will play tomorrow against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And likewise for the Blue Jackets, right? They want to put on a good show tomorrow afternoon as well.
Again, 8-5, the Blue Jackets lead here through 40 minutes of action at Center Ice Arena. It has been a whole lot of fun this game. Lots of offense. I'm sure there's plenty more in store coming up in the third period. Going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, I'm going to chat with Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda, talk about Adam Fantilli and the rest of the Blue Jackets prospects here at this Traverse City Prospects Tournament. Again, 8-5, the Blue Jackets lead here. It's the NHL Prospects Tournament presented by Bally Sports. Be back in just a few.
It's got a little bit of a playoff atmosphere here tonight, Jelly.
Yes,
it does.
Yeah, this place is jumping right now. I get goosebumps every game we play here.
And isn't that just a tremendous scene?
Listen to this crowd.
This is the best place in the world to be.
Hi Red Wings fans, it's Henrik Söderberg here. I'm really excited to have the boys come over here and play in November in Stockholm, Sweden, facing off against the Maple Leafs and the Senators. I am also really excited when I heard a lot of you are coming over and make the trip. So for all of you that haven't decided yet, make sure to check all the options you have to come over here to Stockholm. It's going to be a fantastic week, and hopefully I will see you all there.
Back here at Center Ice Arena, I'm Dylan Tyrer, and I'm joined right now by Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda. And Jeff, we just witnessed a heck of a second period played by the Columbus Blue Jackets, scoring 7 times. The power play is dynamic in this tournament. I think, 7 of 8 now on the man advantage between these two games.
Yes.
The Blue Jackets first facing off against the Maple Leafs, and now the Red Wings. The power play's obviously been good, but all those players are stepping up, whether it's Jordan Dumais, James Malatesta. Feels like those same guys from yesterday are the guys delivering in this one.
Yeah, and you come to this tournament, and it often comes down to the big guns. It comes down to the guys like, I think a couple years ago, Igor Chinikov and Cole Sillinger had huge tournaments, and the Blue Jackets won that event. Last year it was Kent Johnson and Kirill Marchenko who had big tournaments. This year it's the guys like Adam Fantilli, Jordan Dumais with 2 more goals today, James Malatesta, guys who can score, guys who've scored in juniors, have a lot of offensive talent, and then they've been the difference makers in this this tournament so far. And then you look at the power play. Well, it's those good players, it's those high-end picks. And you're not even including the Denton Matejchuks and David
Right.
Jiriceks. Those first rounders on defense that can really run a power play. So you're seeing all the dynamic players on the Blue Jackets making the difference, which is often what happens up here.
We saw Adam Fantilli set up a couple of Blue Jackets goals yesterday with a pair of assists. I think we both felt he was going to score in this game against the Red Wings today. Trent Vogelhuber, the head coach for the Blue Jackets in this tournament, he talked about it after that game on Thursday against Toronto that Fantilli was maybe a little bit frustrated. Did you see those frustrations come out on that first goal he scored?
Yeah, and what a great way to start, your goal scoring account for the Columbus Blue Jackets is to make a goal like that where you cut through 2 guys, and then the finish with, on a backhander to have the strength to be able to put that puck where he put it on that goal. It's a great goal all the way around. And I think if you're a Blue Jackets fan, the excitement level for Adam Fantilli was already pretty high, but then you see a goal like that with him wearing the Blue Jackets sweater, and you're like, oh, wow, like this is going to be fun. So, he does that, gets the goal later on the power play as well. And again, it's the big players have to be the big players here. Third overall pick, you'd expect a guy like Adam Fantilli to come in here and make a difference. Yesterday he did it in a lot of different ways. Tonight he's done it with goal scoring. But then you look at the first period, he has that play early in the game. The Jackets are on the power play, and the Red Wings have a breakaway. And Adam Fantilli chases down the player and takes the puck away before he can even get a shot on goal. I think that speaks to what Adam Fantilli brings to the table. Certainly the scoring ability is good, but Trent Vogelhuber talked about it yesterday. The 200-foot game and him wanting to make those little difference plays, it makes it pretty exciting to think about what he can become as a Columbus Blue Jacket.
I think Blue Jackets fans here at Center Ice Arena and watching at home probably giddy when they got a glimpse of the future. Adam Fantilli, backhand sauce over to David Jiricek, who danced around a man and was able to score his first goal of the tournament. What do you think of that one? Not just the scoring ability of Adam Fantilli here, but the setup ability and the playmaking too.
Yeah, and he's calm with the puck. He has a sort of like a sixth sense, it seems, of kind of where everybody is on the ice and then what he's able to do in certain moments. And so that was a play. He has the puck along the wall, slows the play down, and then is able to pick out David Jiricek, who goes down and scores a pretty nice goal. We've seen some pretty good goals in this game from really talented people. That was one of them off the stick of Jiricek. And, you think about it, that's a number 3 overall pick, passing it to a number 6 overall pick. And it's hard to stop that when you're in a tournament like this. And you have a lot of guys that haven't played a lot of hockey together. That individual talent is what makes the difference. And we're seeing it out of the Jackets now. And, the Jackets have had really good drafts the last couple of years. They've had so many prospects come in. You're starting to see the fruits of those labors right now.
Well, a guy who's not necessarily considered a top prospect for the Blue Jackets, he was a later round draft pick, is James Malatesta. He's played in this tournament a number of times, but it's hard not to notice this guy out on the ice. He had a great last season in Quebec in the QMJHL. He was the Memorial Cup MVP for crying out loud, but Malatesta has been a man on fire in this tournament. What have you thought of his game?
A big fan of his game, and I love the fact that he does it all. He's a player who has the ability to score goals, which we saw last year as he was the Memorial Cup MVP. But he plays a 200-foot game. He plays a defensively responsible game. He has a lot of competitiveness to him, so he doesn't want to lose those one-on-one battles. They've had him on the power play, I think, here too, in some of the units. They've had him on the penalty kill. He's been doing it all. They trust him clearly to put him in situations like that. He's not the biggest guy, but he plays with a real competitiveness. He's very strong. He's strong on the puck. He's not afraid to play physical. And then the goal scoring ability we saw all of last year in the Q. So someone that, as I've watched this tournament, I've been really impressed by him. You didn't get a chance to see him a ton last year until the end of the year when he was making that Memorial Cup run. But you see him in person, and his game grows on you. And I think he's someone. It could be really fun to see what he can do in pro hockey. I think he's going to be probably in Cleveland this year, first year coming out of the Q. I think his game could translate to the pro level just because of all the different things he can do and his versatility.
I want to ask you about Nolan Lalonde, the Blue Jackets goaltender in this game. You're a goaltending guy. You played goalie yourself in men's league, but maybe not the first period that Lalonde and the Blue Jackets wanted, giving up 3 goals. But I thought he made a big save there. He made a big stick save there late in that second period.
Yeah.
One of a number of key saves in that second period. I think giving the Blue Jackets some confidence.
Yeah, I think he had a much better second period, and even the goal that the Wings score there kind of late, he makes the initial save, and the Wings are able to crash the net and score on the rebound. But you can't fault a goalie when he makes the first save. At least that's what I say as a goalie. But no, I think he definitely had a good bounce back period there. The first probably wasn't his shining moment, and we talked about it on the broadcast the other day. This is a hard tournament for goalies just because there's so much going on. The puck is flying around everywhere. There's bodies going all over the place. Everybody's trying to make an impact. So I think as a goalie that it speeds up pretty quickly out here in this tournament at the very beginning. But it's good to see him, not let those early goals kind of, hurt him mentally. He was able to stay in the game, come back and have a pretty strong second period there. I think there was about 3 or 4 good saves he made on some really good chances for the Wings. So for him to do that, a good sign of his ability to bounce back, and I think that's one of the things I like about him.
All right, Jeff Svoboda, thanks very much for taking the time. We'll make sure to do this plenty more during the NHL regular season, you and I chatting on the Blue Jackets radio network, but here's hoping we see some more fun hockey coming up in the third.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dylan.
All right, again, that's Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda. Make sure to follow him on X at Jackets Insider. 8 to 5 through 40 minutes of play here at Center Ice Arena. It's the NHL Prospects Tournament presented by Bally Sports.
Goals today. How many goals am I going to score today? Couple? 0. 1 shot, 1 breakaway? Yeah. Hey, 1 shot, 1 breakaway. If I score, I win. Another win. Let's go. Thanks, coach. Hey, thanks for the money, coach. Thanks for the money, coach.
1-1. No?
Or, wait, I said if I score, I win. It's on camera. One more?
It's like saying he won.
I won. But last time I won. You said you won.
Marco, how are you?
All right.
Yeah, you own Coast today. I was watching you. Yeah. It's sweet. Man, like a low blocker, high glove. He was just picking you apart. Like, what?
Ready?
Are we just doing competitions with Marco?
Huh? Yeah, for sure. Who's your favorite player on the Tigers? If you know any.
Baez.
Who is it?
Javier Baez.
That's my favorite player too. Let's see.
Nice.
Welcome back into Center Ice Arena here in Traverse City, Michigan for the 2023 Prospect Tournament brought to you by Bally Sports. You just saw a nice little feature on Marco Kasper during the break that was done during Red Wings development camp back in July. That's always a fun time having the prospects in for the first time after the draft. We got to meet Marco Kasper, and I'm sure you guys were very excited to meet Adam Fantilli.
Well, Adam Fantilli, Gavin Brindley, there's lots of University of Michigan representation in Columbus these days. I know a lot of people watching this stream certainly know that. The Blue Jackets taking 2 University of Michigan Wolverines with their first 2 picks in the draft, but that's a thing that I really love doing at development camp is talking to the college prospects that are there, because you don't get the opportunity to necessarily talk to them during NHL training camp or a tournament like this, excuse me. But that's something that I always look forward to.
That's a great point, and we should address that because I do see some questions on why certain prospects aren't at the prospect tournament. If they are playing over in Europe or they are playing collegiate hockey, they are not allowed to play in this tournament, so they're not here this weekend. That's the reason for that, and I know I've seen some of those questions, like Axel Sandin Pellikka that the Red Wings drafted with their second first-round pick in the last draft, so a lot of fans were excited about him, but unfortunately, he could not be at this tournament. He's already started his season in Sweden.
Yeah. Shai Buyam was another one that played at the University of Denver. We saw him, Daniella, in our development camp back after the 4th of July, and he's another guy that maybe down the road will be able to play and suit up here. And he's one of those guys too that has a lot of promise on the blue line for Detroit, playing for the University of Denver.
And Adam Fantilli is definitely the story of this game, especially that second period so far, and got to talk to him after that. Really like that kid. Great personality, and he's a lot of fun to talk to. He referenced seeing some Michigan hats in the crowd today, and he liked that, overseeing the Ohio State, which is your school.
Yes.
We won't hold that against you. We won't hold that against you, but he's got to get used to the Buckeyes. That's what I told him. I'm like, you're just going to have to get used to that in Columbus.
Yeah, he's done a good job at it so far. Everybody, all the Michigan guys have some fun with it, but obviously the Wolverines have had the upper hand the last couple of years, so the Buckeyes can't say too much, but he's a great guy, you're right.
And Ken, what do the Red Wings do here in this third period? Obviously, you want to forget what happened in that second period. How do they start fresh here with a new 20 minutes?
Well, Dylan and I were talking a little bit about that at the end of the period, in the second period. It's been really a tale of 2 different periods. The first one belonged to Detroit. The second one, obviously, the Columbus Blue Jackets. But if you're the Red Wings, you just got to come out and try to win the period and prepare for the next game coming up tomorrow against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Blue Jackets, they had a whale of a second period. They want to just keep the momentum going. Their bread and butter so far over the last couple of games has been the power play. And if you're the Red Wings, you want to stay out of the penalty box, of course.
As a broadcaster for the team and obviously a fan of the team, wanting them to do well, you have to be very excited with what you saw, not only in that second period, but really this tournament as a whole. Columbus has been impressive.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch. I think the expectation when we came here was that the Blue Jackets were going to be pretty good. I mean, there are so many first-round picks, second-round picks, and guys that have really developed well, the later-round picks that have developed over the course of the last couple of seasons here. So we knew this team had something. I said to Jeff Svoboda after we did the interview there that team's a little bit of a wagon here. The Blue Jackets look really, really good. When they're down in that first period, you're thinking to yourself, oh, man, this is going to be a tough game right here. They didn't look like this in the first game, but erupting for 7 goals in the second has been really, really special. I do want to see them play at 5-on-5 a little bit more because the power play obviously was a huge factor in that second period, but it's been fun, and I'm sure Blue Jackets fans here in attendance and watching via the stream are really, really excited.
Cross Hannes, a couple of goals in that second period, leading the way offensively for Detroit. Red Wings had a 3-0 lead early. Sawchuk, D'Souza, and Doucette. But really what did the Red Wings in was those 3 power play goals and 7 straight goals scored by the Blue Jackets when it was 4-1 in favor of Detroit. Third period underway. Red Wings want to try and get back into this game. Kasper along the near wing will pick it up, play it out towards the blue line. Voronkov intercepted it, tried to feed it ahead to Dumais, picks it up on the second effort and wheels it in behind the Red Wing goal. Wallander tapping it off the boards, came out to center ice. Dumais in front of the penalty box, checked by Tuomisto. Gets it to disposal, moves it over on the right side. Here's Fantilli looking for the hat trick with a chance. And the save was made by the Detroit goaltender, Lukas Matejchuk. Good save right off the get-go there as Fantilli was looking for the hat trick right there. He's got 2 goals in the game. Here's Soderblom with Kasper and Sawchuk over the blue line. He's onside, pulls up at the left point. Fends off a check with his left arm. Tossed it in front, gets it again. A shot, rebound, sent right to the goal mouth by Sawchuk. Oh, he had the wide open net and missed. Now a shot in the wing, score right there from the left circle. Big goal, just 1 minute and 6 seconds into the third period, and the Red Wings now trail by 2.
You know, that's a huge moment for Elmer to come through and score a goal, set the tone for the third period, and especially after that play where the puck goes back and forth in the crease and doesn't find the back of the net to bounce back and make that play happen. Great for the big guy, and obviously we talked about this, a veteran of this tournament. He needs to show that he can be a leader on the team and help them get back into this game, which he's done. It's only a 2-goal deficit now with just under 19 minutes remaining in the game.
That was a great shift by Soderblom. I thought he was running the show there for the Red Wings, so it's fitting that he ends up scoring the goal to bring them right back in it. I like him as a player. You guys obviously know more about him than I do, but the size and his skill is very impressive.
The one thing that has been, if there is a complaint or a flaw in his game, is that he needs to be stronger on the puck. Somebody that big has to be really strong on the puck. So that's something that he's been working on with his time in Grand Rapids. Obviously, the injury doesn't help that, but he looks much better here this weekend.
Now the Testa fans on the shot as he tried to score from a little bit of long range. It bounces over to the right side of the ice. Quick feed across. Del Bellbelouz with a chance. It's blocked right out in front. Rebound, centering attempt. Knocked away by Matejchuk, the goaltender for Detroit. Still thinking, how did the Red Wings miss that empty net before the goal by Soderblom?
I know. I think it went through the crease twice, back and forth.
All right, Wings come back. Danielson tried to cut inside. Roger knocked him off the puck as it's still deep in the Columbus Blue Jacket end. DeAngelis sets it up and behind the goal. The puck taken away by Cross Hannes, who has a couple of goals for the Red Wings in this game. Wings trail by 2. Lombardi in behind the net. Sends it out in front of the Columbus goal, knocked away, and the Red Wings applying the pressure deep in the Columbus zone, something that they really didn't do a lot of in that second period. Forcing the issue, DeAngelis gets it out to Pinelli at center ice. He'll saucer a backhand left corner in the Detroit end. Back to the right point, Kulemans. Shot the puck blocked in front. Rebound, high slot, Peddle. Misfires on it. Red Wings come out to center. Lombardi with a feed pass left side. Stealing it, Rysavy along the far boards, now moves it down and behind the Red Wing goal. But they're in to pick it up for Detroit and feed it ahead. Wallander out to center ice. Here comes Lombardi. Always dangerous in over the Blue Jacket line. Stick handles looking for a trailer. Knocked off balance. Matejchuk picking it up for the Blue Jackets. Sweeping it ahead. Out to center ice. Delic now up across the Red Wing line. Cuts wide on his man Mathurin. Moves in with a forehand. Matejchuk the save with a pad. And they mix it up right out in front of the Detroit goal. Butler in the middle of it.
It's a nice power move right there by Delic, protecting the puck and able to get to the crease. But I tell you, Matejchuk here has been tested in this third period. The Blue Jackets have already put a lot on him, but he's shown to be pretty strong here in period number 3. A guy that, you have to come into the game cold in that second period, but I like the way he's playing, staying square to these shots. But yeah, I mean, Delic's had a nice little game for himself, I think, here.
Got to keep an eye on that Butler kid. He had 119 penalty minutes last year with the Oshawa Generals.
Yeah, he was the team captain for Oshawa. The Blue Jackets welcomed him to the organization towards the end of the season last year, and he's a guy who wants to mix it up a little bit. Another big body out there.
Yeah, Red Wings with the early goal here. Now it's an 8-6 hockey game. If you like defensive hockey, this one has not been for you. But if you like offense, you're going to enjoy this game today. Don't want to let Columbus score again as the puck comes down low. Here's a shot and they score. Pick in the corner in the upper corner of the net. That was Svozil, the defenseman, who lifted it into the upper part of the goal. And just when I say you can't let them score, they do. And it's a 3-goal lead again for the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, when do you ever see a defenseman with a shot like that? But that's the offense in Stanislav Svozil's game. He had a great World Junior for Czechia. See him come down at the bottom of the face-off circle, and I think surprised Mateka with the shot right there, to be completely honest with you. But Svozil's got a lot to his game. He's a guy that the Blue Jackets really like, and a player that's just come on strong. As I mentioned towards the top of our broadcast, he's a former third-round pick by this team that now in hindsight people are thinking maybe he should have gone a little bit higher.
3:27, the time of the goal by Stanislav Svozil, and it's now a 9-6 game in favor of the Blue Jackets. Kasper mixing it up, drops the glove with Kulemans. Kasper trying to get the right hand in. Kulemans hitting the side of the helmet of Kasper. Kulemans gets a shot in with the left. They take each other down, and a spirited performance by Kulemans and Kasper with the fight in front of the Red Wing players' bench.
I told you Kasper likes to mix it up a little, likes to get in there a little bit, and I think all Red Wings fans kind of hold their breath while that's happening, thinking maybe you're not the guy that should be taking the fight, but he likes to, it's a part of his game. It's what he likes to do.
Same thing with Corson Kulemans there. You don't often see that in a tournament like this. 2 first-round picks
That's
mixing it up. Kulemans has that in his game as well. We mentioned it with Adam Fantilli. Likes to, play a little chippy. He's not afraid to drop the gloves. But Corson Kulemans there fighting in the Traverse City Prospects tournament. His first time up here because he was a guy playing college hockey before, so he hadn't been able to be in this tournament. But we're standing on top of both benches, and you could hear both benches going crazy right there. I saw Marco Kasper say, "Let's go, boys," to the Red Wings bench, trying to get his guys going.
Well, and that's the thing. It can spark your team sometimes. You might need a little bit of that, mix it up a bit. But I'm sure both coaches are like, hey, you two, that's enough.
Yeah, both teams' management staffs here watching very, very eagerly, I guess, in that fight. Nervously, maybe, too.
Well, let's see if that sparks the Red Wings a little bit. 16-10 to go third period. 3-goal lead for the Blue Jackets. Here is Danielson. Feed pass over the line across Hannes. Slides it over in the high slot, broken up by Voronkov. Puck bounces right circle. Puck scooped up and played by Matejchuk along the near boards, now out to the center ice circle. Dumais slowed up by Wallander as he backhands it in behind the goal to Tuomisto. Red Wing defenseman moves it forward. Out to center ice they come. Here, Janscom over the blue line to Danielson. Left circle, backhands it to the front of the goal. And a save made by Lalonde. And it's getting a little shove treatment right out in front of Lalonde, the goaltender.
Yeah, this game's getting a little bit chippy, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of scoring and a little chippiness being added to that now. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I know.
I enjoy it.
It's been a fun hockey game.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day when the Red Wings used to have training camp, games were like 4.5 hours long, and it was like fight after fight. There's more fighting than I think actual hockey being played. But the game has changed, as you well know, over the years.
Did you call those games, Ken? I'm wondering.
No, that was before my play-by-play time.
Oh, okay.
All these up-and-comers wanted to take on guys like Probert, Koser, and everybody else. So puck shot in, and touch of the goaltender will just hang on for Detroit.
Might as well, if you're looking to get some reps doing play-by-play for a fight, you might as well hang out in the boxing ring over the summer. You think about that, but hey, just got to go to an NHL training camp. That's where the fighting's happening.
I'm not sure why anyone would want to fight Joe Koser or Bob Probert, by the way, Ken. I'm not in that lineup at all.
Jody Shelley of the Columbus Blue Jackets, I believe, fought Bob Probert for 6 consecutive periods of hockey. I might have that wrong, but they did fight every period in one game. I know that.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a smart thing to do, but, Jody Shelley was one of the tough guys, too, in the league. Of course, we all know about Bob Probert. Surprised Jody Shelley's alive to talk about it, right?
Well, he does a great job,
Yes,
the TV color commentator for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
He's probably got some great stories.
I was literally just going to say, guy has good stories.
Punnett in behind his own goal. He was clipped to the high stick at the end of that second period. Brings it forward for Detroit. Pass up the right side, and that's deflected at the Columbus Blue Jacket blue line by the man who just scored, Svozil, and into the Columbus players' bench. Red Wings take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. That'll be the third and final game of this Prospects tournament for them. Red Wings looking for their first victory, but they trail 9-6 to the Columbus Blue Jackets here in this one. Wings had a 4-1 lead at one point. Minute and 30 gone by in that second period, then 7 unanswered goals by the Blue Jackets. really put the Red Wings in a hole.
Danielle, I know you've been doing baseball all summer. Do you expect to see 9-6 games coming to Traverse City here?
No, and I'm looking at it. The Tigers won 11-2 last night, so lots of scoring between our Detroit teams these past couple of days.
Souza with a shot. He had a goal earlier in the hockey game, and that's redirected into the protected netting behind the goaltender, Nolan Lalonde. Remember a game back when the Spartans had Munn Ice Arena. Back in the day, they never put your name on the jerseys in preseason. And Dennis Polonich was a fighter for the Red Wings. Well, Marcel Dion wore number 5 at the time, and he got sick, so they called in Polonich and put the number 5 jersey on him. He was a totally different player than Marcel Dion, right? And so, like, all hell broke loose at Munn Ice Arena, and in the middle of it was Dennis Polonich, and everyone's saying that Marcel Dion's a tough guy. But it was really Dennis Polonich.
Can't get away with that these days.
Columbus shoots it in. 6 minutes gone by, third period. It was Columbus with a 9-6 lead. Red Wings Lombardi dumping it over the line to Soderblom. Pins the puck along the boards, worked over along the far side right there, and that was Jiricek. Comes out to center ice to Omisto, to Lombardi down the middle. To Soderblom with that long reach, dropping it deeper into the corner, goes after it. Sends it out in front of the Columbus goal, knocked away, and up the right side. The puck is batted away. Delic looking for it, but now the Blue Jackets bring it ahead, out to center ice. Weisblatt in over the blue line, drops it back right circle. Feed pass in front of the Detroit goal, off Weisblatt into the corner. Wings pick it up and feather it forward, cross Hannes. Line pass over the left side to Wallander. He'll turn back into his own zone as Delic chases him down in the corner. Swings it around the near side for Misto, out to center. Voronkov steals. Gets away from his man. Travels in over the blue line, back checking. Nice play right there by Nick Sema to knock it away ahead to Danielson over the Blue Jacket line. Danielson with a rising shot. That's knocked away by Lalonde. Delic on the rebound. Backhands it out to center ice. Good action out in the neutral zone right now. Selling it down inside his own zone, Nicholas DeAngelis. Up the right wing boards, and the Blue Jackets tap it into the corner after Gibson, the Detroit defenseman. Gibson slides it across, right side. Pass to Danielson over the line, breaking behind the defense with a chance. Oh, and Lalonde looked behind him, following up on the play. The Wings score. Sema tipping it in behind the goaltender on the loose puck, and now it's still another 2-goal game. It's Columbus 9, Red Wings 7.
Nice play by Sema to follow that up. Nate Danielson goes in on the breakaway, and obviously Lalonde had lost sight of it just for a second, and Sema was there very quickly to tap it in behind him.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough for Nolan Lalonde right there, isn't it? He makes the initial save on the first-round pick, coming in on a breakaway, and he's thinking to himself, all right, 9-6, yeah. Nothing to worry about, but he couldn't find that puck. Unfortunately, it was sitting right beneath him. Sema comes up to clean up the trash right there, and like you said, Daniella, just continuing to play the game, not giving up on a play. You see that puck still alive, and you chase on after it. It's a big goal for the Red Wings.
Red Wings bringing it back over the line. Malofsky with a quick turnaround shot in front. Penalty coming up on the play, out at center ice by the referee, and the play is stopped.
It's like Voronkov's going to go back to the box right here. Kind of chicken-winged one of the Red Wings. I think that's the case.
What an opportunity for Detroit to go on the power play here and make it a 1-goal game. You know, I don't think out of all the years I've called hockey, even in preseason, where both teams scored more than 10 goals, that could be a possibility here this afternoon.
You're right about that. I wouldn't hate to see it, frankly.
Columbus 9, Red Wings 7. Now the Wings on the power play.
Am I counting 4-on-4?
Looks that way.
Forgive us, guys. We cannot see the penalty box from where we're at. It is directly below us.
Well, it looks like the Red Wings have the power play here.
Oh, they do.
But it is 4-on-4.
Yeah, it's 4-on-4.
Interesting. Did they decline their power play?
No, we'd rather play 4-on-4.
Oh, there we
now.
go. There's the fifth.
Okay.
Someone forgot.
Yeah,
Looks like a misplay.
Yeah, the Red Wings started with 4 players, and they said, wait a minute, we got the
We have
extra
a
guy
power
out there.
play.
I was going to say, I watched Voronkov interfere with the guy in the offensive zone. He definitely was going to the box. I didn't think a Red Wing did anything.
I had to ask you guys if I was crazy there trying to count.
It
I'm like,
was
I
4 on
swear
4
I'm
for a
counting
bit.
4.
Maybe it's a new tactic. You know, you get that guy on later and kind of fool the opposition.
Exactly.
All right,
Well-
big power play for the Red Wings right now. They need to get back into this game and make it a 1-goal affair. Still plenty of time remaining, 11 and a half to go in the third period. Wings want to spend some time in that offensive zone with it. Cross Hannes, 2 goals in the game. Now it's poked away and driven the length of the ice by their defenseman, Ben Roger. Wallander scooping it up in behind the Red Wing goal. Butler takes a chop from Cross Hannes as he rides him in along the boards. Now the Wings come back. Here's Danielson. Looked like Hannes wanted to try something right there, but now it's intercepted and lifted all the way down the ice by Tyler Peddle inside the Detroit end. Butler was wondering, what are you doing? You're on the power play and you're trying to cause something deep in the zone. But anyway, Butler pins that puck in along the boards with a skate. More time coming off that Red Wing penalty clock or power play clock. Half a minute to go in the Red Wing man advantage. And Butler with that size just pinning that puck in along the boards. I think 10, 12 seconds came off the clock.
That was a heck of a job by Cam Butler right there. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Soderblom just bowled over. Juracek at the blue line. Pass in the slot. Yancicum plays it off the boards to Amisto chopping at it. Came out to center. 4 seconds to go in the Red Wing man advantage. Malofsky feed pass Lombardi over the line. Over to Soderblom with a wrist shot just when the penalty expires. Ronkoff is on, but the goaltender Lalonde comes up with a glove save.
That was an absolutely unbelievable collision there between David Juracek, who's listed at 6'3", 200 pounds, and Elmer Soderblom. Soderblom's going to win that battle every time, though, at 6'8", 246. But a lot of contact right there. Again, the physicality's picked up in this one.
Hey, when you're playing against a guy like Elmer Soderblom, you've got to use every bit of physicality that you can to try to play the body.
You know, the Red Wings had 3 players trying to knock that puck off of Butler's stick, who pinned that puck in along the boards. And I'll tell you what, that was some pretty good penalty killing just for the fact that he was able to pin the puck deep in the Red Wing zone and maybe 12, 15 seconds came off the clock.
Well, you saw what the Blue Jackets did. You could see that coming because the Blue Jackets cleared their zone and Butler was kind of ahead of the play, just drifting in the neutral zone. And he was essentially alone. He could have tried to create some offense there, take the puck out from behind the net, but he wisely just pinned it up against the boards. And like you said, it was a heads-up penalty-killing play to just wind time off the clock.
We had a fun discussion on Thursday of when do coaches like to pull their goaltenders because everybody's a little bit different. Obviously, I'm not saying he should pull them with 10 minutes
it's the
left on
Traverse
the
City
clock.
Prospects
I
tournament.
might do
10
it.
minutes. Why
I'd
not?
be very aggressive with it, but just it's always something to keep an eye on. Dan Watson obviously coaching the tournament for the first time, and he pulled him with 2.5, I think, which is pretty standard, but you never know.
Well, you don't want to do it right now with Dumais and Fantilli.
No. Wrong line to do it again.
That's the only problem you have if you want to pull the goaltenders. Those guys can put it into the empty net all by themselves.
Yeah, those two have been pretty special in this one.
They'll make sure you regret that decision of pulling the goaltender early.
10-12 to go, so plenty of time for the Red Wings. They trail by 2 now after that last goal scored by Nick Sema. DeAngelis, after the loose puck in the right circle in his own zone, bounced it off the boards. DeAngelis swats it free. Good forecheck by the Red Wings' Hannes to chop it back in behind the goal. DeAngelis tied up by Danielson. Now look out, Danielson trying to go upstairs. He got the puck wide open in front, tried to tuck it into the upper left-hand corner, was stopped by Lalonde. Fantilli back over the Red Wing line, 2 goals in the game. Voronkov feed, that one's in the skates of Dumais, who goes after it in the right circle. Checked in along the boards, Dumais, and now here is Danielson intercepting a Columbus feed, moves it to Hannes, his pass off a stick. Punnett knocked it down, and now Fantilli makes his way to the Red Wing line. Stiff check by Punnett, and it comes out to center ice. Taychuk in over the Red Wing line, pass right circle, Dumais to Fantilli with a shot blocked in the slot. Now cross Hannes on a 2-on-1 with Kasper up across the line. Hannes over to Kasper. Oh, and that's deflected off Kuhlman's and almost went into that Columbus Blue Jacket net. Wings trying to make a change. Got a couple of tired hockey players. Juracek picking it up inside his own zone. Lifts it up the right wing boards. Gurn up across the line. Pulls up. Backhands it into the corner. Gibson with a check on his man. The puck loose in that right face-off circle. Penalty coming up. Let's see what's on right now. As it goes into the corner, Soderblom to touch it, and apparently this penalty coming up to the Red Wings with 8:37 to go in the third period. So the referee came up with the right arm, and he is making his way out to the center ice circle, and a penalty coming up to Detroit.
A hooking penalty.
Marco Kasper, the guilty party.
Well, that's not what you want to see if you're the Red Wings. Go back just a couple of moments ago here. Nate Danielson been very dangerous in this game, but like Nolan Lalonde read that all the way right there. A little shoulder save for the Blue Jackets goalie.
You know, when you're in that close, yes, he's wide open and alone, but you don't have much time or space to turn with the goaltender right there behind you. A nice attempt to get it up there, though.
So not what the Red Wings need right now either, with Blue Jackets going on the power play again, and one of their best players in this game, Marco Kasper, headed off. It's a big PK for Detroit.
Here's Svozil. This power play has been terrific. 4 power play goals in the afternoon for the Blue Jackets. More importantly, if the Red Wings kill it off, there's 2 more minutes off the clock, and that doesn't help Detroit as well. All right, they set it up in the Red Wing zone. Blue Jackets here. Juracek passed it in front, skips back on the line to Svozil, tosses it over on the right side. Now over to the left side of the ice. Here's Juracek skating down low, bottom of the circle, shoots the puck. Matecha the save, rebound, picked up and played all the way down the ice by William Wallander. Minute 19 remaining in the penalty to Marco Kasper. 9-7 lead for the Blue Jackets. 7:49 to play. Wings knock it down, but now it's stolen again by Svozil. Del Belbaluz into the left circle. In pursuit. Lombardi couldn't get away from Belbaluz out to the blue line. Held in. Svozil comes out to Voronkov now. Makes his way in over the Red Wing line. Pushes it over to Juracek. Left circle. Feed pass. Right circle. A one-time shot. A save made by Matechka. Now a centering attempt. That was a good play right there by Del Belbaluz, who tried to score. Out to center ice. Soderblom picking it up. The big forward. Short-handed, moves in, uses his muscle to get in towards the front of the goal, just slid a backhand wide of the goal. Good effort by Soderblom, trying to use his size to his advantage right there. 25 seconds to go in the Columbus power play. Fantilli, feed pass, Malatesta with a shot, it's blocked by Lombardi. Rebound, right circle, Fantilli picking it up. Now to Matechuk, right circle, Fantilli, cross ice feed, Dumais, shot blocked by the Red Wing defender that time. It's D'Souza comes back to the line. Matechuk holds it in. Pressure by the Blue Jackets. One-time shot by Dumais. Pad save by Matechka. Matechuk again moves down low. Penalty is over. Fantilli with a one-time effort. That's blocked right out in front. So Columbus with a couple of opportunities. Red Wings shoot it down the ice, and this is icing called against the Red Wings. 6:28 to go.
Oh, more good movement by the Blue Jackets there on the power play, but guys laying out, blocking shots, and some big saves. And you were talking about the goaltender there. And he's been pretty solid in this third period. You see there Luca Del Belbaluz trying to score off his backside. It looked like he was trying to put it off the back of the goaltender, banking it in, but Mateka with it all the way there.
A big thank you to those tuning into our streams this weekend. All Prospect Tournament streams are brought to you by Bally Sports. You can stream the Prospect Tournament on the Bally Sports app, and you can also stream Red Wings games all season long on the Bally Sports app as well.
We're just got to get one here, I think, in the next couple of minutes. Get back into this game and make it a one-goal affair. Now we got to fight, punt it. And Butler trying to get an upper hand in. Gets a right in there. Punt it trying to answer back. Butler's got a little size advantage. Comes in with a right. Punt it answers back. Pushes him along the glass. Right by Punt it. Another right. Another right. The helmet's off. Punt it trying to work away with a right hand. Now Punt it comes back with a right himself. Misses. They grab each other's jersey, and that was a heavyweight bout in that corner.
Look at these refs letting it go a little bit. That was fun. Punnett got into it during the Dallas matchup as well. He had a fight. Seems to be a big part of his game.
You know, I made a note here, and I'm going to show you, Dylan. I said, keep an eye on Connor Punnett of Detroit, Cameron Butler of Columbus. They could drop the gloves, and what do we have late?
You're manifesting a lot of things, Ken. A lot of things are happening right when you tend to talk about them. So
what's going on here? I should play the lottery tonight.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe talk about a few more Red Wings goals, too.
We didn't have a fight in the first Blue Jackets game, so I did have an inkling that if Butler were going to be in the lineup in this one, he might go, given it's such a big part of his game. Didn't expect to see Corson Kuhlman's drop in the gloves, but that was a fun one as well. But yeah, those are two big guys going at it. As far as it goes with Connor Punnett, he's been very, very involved in this game when it comes to the trash talk or an extra slash here and there. He's been a noticeable guy, so I feel like it was only a matter of time that he dropped him with somebody. And Cameron Butler, a willing partner right there.
You know, it's interesting. The Red Wings don't have many players like that in the organization, so I'm sure that the management staff wants to get a look at some players that take that as a big part of their game and really have success with it.
Connor Punnett was a free agent invitee for this prospects tournament. 2-goal lead for the Blue Jackets. Wings got to get one here in a hurry. 5:57 to go. Pass broken up. Wallander in front of his own goal, scoots in behind the net to Kasper. Drops it for the trailer, Sawchuk. 2-on-1 over the Blue Jacket line. Sawchuk to Soderblom. Slap shot. That one wide of the goal. Rebound, right circle, DeAngelis. Kasper with a check in behind this goal. Now it comes out to center ice. Rice savvy, backhands it up across the Detroit blue line. And now the Wings pick it up. Gibson, bouncing puck, swings it out to center ice. Miancicum, now to Hannes. Pulls up at the right point. Slides it over Soderblom. Backhand feed in front, a one-time shot by Miancicum. Rebound chance, and that one skips wide of the Detroit or the Columbus goal. And now picking up Kuhlman's, and he'll feather it out to the blue line, out to center ice off the glass. Nelly pedal over the blue line, making his way in, shoots one wide of the goal. He was aiming for the upper right-hand corner. Now the Wings will pick it up again. Miancicum trying to beat the defenseman Matejchuk, who had good angle on him, and he knocked him off the puck. Gibson holds it in. Now it's stolen and out to the Detroit line. Wallander will pick it up away from Pinelli. Time becoming a factor. 4:42 to go. Third period, 2-goal lead for the Blue Jackets, 9-7. Columbus out shooting Detroit 35-27 in the game. Doucette, he's got a goal in the game for Detroit. Wheels it down into the corner. Sposel picking it up and behind his own goal. Swings it over on the right side now as the Blue Jackets play at the Voronkov at center ice. Sposel to the trailer. Up over the blue line, left circle. Feed pass off a stick, held in. No, it's not held in. Juracek has to come out to center ice to play it. Voronkov turned it over. Here's Doucette. Tried to make a move at the Blue Jacket line. That play offside, but Voronkov picks it up and carries into the Red Wings zone. His shot deflects off a Red Wings skater. Tuomisto wide of the goal. Wings pick it up. Flying out the center, Amadeus Lombardi. Trying to beat the defender wide, moves into the corner. Actually, that puck hit a broken stick out onto the ice. Malatesta at center, shovels it out to the center ice circle. Now the puck intercepted. The Wings pick it up, play it down low. Lucas had his legs taken out from under him, but the play continues. 3.5 to play in the hockey game. Wings are down 9-7 in this one. Lombardi late coming out of his own zone, touches that puck, it's offside. And the play whistled down with a face-off coming up out at center ice.
Yeah, James Malatesta, you talked about Lucas going down right there. Malatesta laid a pretty good hit on him. The Red Wings have had a couple of good looks here in this third period. I think Nolan Lalonde, the Blue Jackets goaltender, has been quite impressive. He stayed with the play right there, but the Red Wings need one bad.
Miancicum there in front, and Tanais Matherin there making the play happen in front of the net. Good to see from the big defenseman, and I say the big defenseman as if there's only one of them on this Red Wings roster, but nice to see him getting in the mix.
3:24 to go. Columbus shoots it in. Red Wings settle it down. Gibson in behind his own goal. Taps it around the far boards. Mathurin out to center ice, off the stick. Right to the front of the goal. Lalonde will pick it up. That was Finney who redirected it right to the front of the Blue Jacket goal with 3:11 to go. Wings' first game of the preseason will be against the Pittsburgh Penguins on December the 26th. That game will be broadcast on Bally Sports, also on 97.1 The Ticket. Red Wings training camp starts Thursday. The annual Red-White game coming up next Sunday here at Center Ice Arena in Traverse City. Red Wings have pulled their goaltender. Extra attacker is on. Here's Malatesta at center ice with the open net and just fired it wide. Now he goes after his own rebound. Red Wings in pursuit. Wings protecting the net. Malatesta in the corner, trying to salt it away. Red Wings trying to steal the puck and make something happen with a man advantage. Now the Wings steal. Soderblom out to center ice, pulls up, brings it back. Red Wings get their players that they want on the ice. To Omisto. Now to Lombardi. Wings trail by a pair, 2.5 to go. Third period. Soderblom, the cross Hannes. 2 goals in the game to the line to Antti Tuomisto. Over to the left side of the ice. Shot taken, redirected, and that one ends up in the protective netting. That was Marco Kasper trying to score. So now we've got 2:27 to go. Red Wings have the extra attacker on the ice, and Daniella and Dylan, you were talking about when to pull them. Well, we're seeing it right now.
You called it about 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes. Almost spot on.
Pretty much just an extended power play here for Detroit.
Well, if they can get the first one right here, it sets up a wild finish, and the Wings want to try to test Lalonde, the goaltender.
Yeah, but again, you talk about situations. Columbus is seeing a 6-on-5, right, and the Red Wings get a chance to see a 6-on-5 as well.
Hannes with a shot. Voronkov blocked it with his left pad. Into the corner. Fantilli didn't clear it out. Marco Kasper with a shot. That one's off a body. Into the corner. Fantilli after the puck again. Wing steal down low. Lombardi charges in behind the goal. All over him is Fantilli picking it up. In deep, the Wings play it. Kasper with a centering attempt right out in front of the goal. Voronkov steals, hands it out to center ice, and coming back, Kasper couldn't tie up his man. Pass to Fantilli, empty net, scores. That's the hat trick for Adam Fantilli. And that's the 10th goal of the game for the Blue Jackets. They now lead the Red Wings 10-7. Dylan, you said Fantilli was going to score at least 2 in the game. He's got 3, and what an effort he has had in this game tonight.
Well, I just think it speaks to the type of player that Adam Fantilli is. Obviously, he has all the tools on the ice. Daniella talked about him away from the ice a little bit. But he's just so motivated. He's so driven. He's so competitive. He didn't score in the game yesterday. Still had a multi-point outing.
Well, he knows he's got a good chance at making an NHL roster
right.
this year. But you still have to prove that.
Exactly.
You have to come in and show that you belong in the NHL. And
yeah, it's as advertised. He's similar to Connor Bedard in that way. Like, you'll hear the things Connor Bedard says about, well, I haven't made the Blackhawks yet. I'm going to camp. I want to make the Blackhawks. I think Fantilli is cut from that same cloth, where obviously he's going to get a great opportunity to make the team, but he knows that he's got to fight to make it, back up all the accolades and everything everybody says about him.
I know it's early, but if he has a terrific season with the Blue Jackets, Calder Trophy maybe?
Maybe so. I mean, he's going to be in the race for sure.
I like the odds.
Depends on who he's going to be playing with, depends on the type of season the Blue Jackets have, but you look at some of those guys and the goal-scoring capabilities, the playmaking capabilities, I'd assume he'll be in the running.
Do you think he'll be on the roster opening night when Columbus plays?
Yeah, I think so.
Malatesta with a shot. That one's off the pad of Matecha, who's back in goal for Detroit. 1.5 to go in this one. Well, that second period really did the Red Wings in. Wings were up 4-1. 7 straight goals scored by the Blue Jackets, and they are cruising to victory. Here this afternoon is Doucette. Makes his way down into the corner, tied up all over him. DeAngelis, and now it comes back to the right side of the ice. Red Wings Finney checked it along the boards. Brings it out to center ice. The Red Wings regroup inside their own zone. Minute to go with this one. Columbus trying to win their second game of this Prospects tournament. They are undefeated. They beat Toronto 7-3. Got a 10-7 lead over the Red Wings. Here in this one, Finney up across the line, makes his way inside. Tapped off the puck at the last second. Wallander now to Sema, who's got a goal. Shoots the puck. Blocker saved by Lalonde. Rebound. Right corner, picking it up full stride. Blue Jackets at center ice, move it up across the line. Work that puck into the corner. Now Kulemans with a shot that's knocked down in front. Along the far wing, back towards the blue line. Now here's a shot wide of the goal by Delic. And the Red Wings scoop it up against Sawchuk, who opened the scoring way back in the first. His pass was blocked. 10 seconds to go in the game. Wallander, Sawchuk now over the blue line. In front of the goal with a feed, broken up. Kulemans dumping it all the way down the ice into the Red Wings zone. D'Souza to pick it up. There goes the horn, and this game is over. And the Columbus Blue Jackets in the Prospects tournament have 2 wins, no losses, and they skate off the ice 10-7 winners over the Red Wings here in Traverse City this afternoon.
Game's got to feel good for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the way they bounced back after trailing 4-1 early on in the second period. We talked about all the work they did in that middle frame, scoring 7 times. Well, they were able to add a couple of more here in period number 3. And, Adam Fantilli, I think, is obviously the story in this game. He comes away with a hat trick. I'm not sure how many assists he had, but it was a good game for Adam Fantilli, welcoming himself to the Columbus Blue Jackets organization in a big way.
That's right. And if you're a fan that came down to the Prospect Tournament game or tuned in to the stream, you were very entertained all game long. It was very entertaining. The one thing I would say that the Red Wings should take away from this is organizationally, especially since Steve Yzerman took over and Derek Lalonde was hired as the head coach of the Red Wings, they preach team defense. So when you look back at this game, that's something that they're going to look at, and I'm sure Dan Watson is going to have a message of sorts about the defensive side of this game.
Yeah, 17 goals between the two teams. I'm sure management doesn't like to see that, but they like the offense.
Right.
How about that top line of the Blue Jackets of Dubé, Fantilli, and Voronkov? Fantilli and Dumais score 5 goals between themselves out of the 10 goals scored in the game.
Yeah, and don't forget James Malatesta. He added 2 more, so there's the 7 out of the 10, right?
Yeah, Cross-Annis had a couple for the Red Wings, which is good to see, getting on the score sheet, something he needed to do, getting back and getting into the groove of things. Elmer Soderblom, another impressive game. I'm sure he's going to say the same thing he did on Thursday. He wishes he could have buried a couple of more, but he made some great plays and created some great scoring chances.
Well, Kosa, not a good performance here today, but he's got to work on his game. I think the Red Wings have to work on their penalty kill as well, as the Columbus power play was terrific, not only today, but in their first game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So the Blue Jackets looking pretty good so far in the tournament with that 2-0 record.
Yeah, I mean, we've already discussed it. There's a lot of top prospects on this Columbus Blue Jackets team. I think the expectation is for them to have games like this and have performances like this. It's almost like they staked the Red Wings that early lead in this game and had to challenge themselves to fight back, which was fun to watch for me. I'm sure it was a little bit different for you guys, but all things considered, I think it was a fun hockey game. Plus, we got to see 2 fights. You don't get to see that every day.
That's right, and we got to see some great high-end prospect talent here. And Dylan, we got to work with you. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
so
thanks,
much fun.
guys. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do it. Great to work with Ken. Great to work with you, Daniella. Let's do it again next year, right?
That's right. Let's do it again next year. We'll be talking about Fantilli's Calder Trophy winning.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe a Blue Jacket Stanley Cup. Who knows? I know you guys don't want to hear that one.
Yeah, no, I don't want to hear that one, but good luck. Best of luck in the season, and thanks again for joining us. And again, a big thank you to all of you for tuning in to today's stream, which is brought to you by Bally Sports, and they're bringing the streams all weekend long here from the Prospect Tournament in Traverse City. Tomorrow, both of these teams will be back in action. Columbus taking on the Dallas Stars at 11 a.m., and then the Red Wings and the Maple Leafs closing things out in the tournament at 2 p.m. tomorrow. You can tune in on the Bally Sports app or on the respective teams' websites to watch your team go at it. Thanks, guys, again for tuning in, and thanks to both of you for being here. It's been great.
Thanks.
Thank you, Daniella.
We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.